Holy shit, I'm finally back. Alright, back to the absolute domination of fucking Prism 24. Good lord.
Person I reached out to was one of their former editors, Matt Turner.
Yeah, what's up, Martin? Thank you very much for your concern. I'm good. I checked your Twitter that you said to contact me on. I saw a lot of all right stuff. All good. I'm set. I'm definitely gonna take this cameo just to run up the clock and then dip out. But thank you for wanting me to contact you. It's not happening. Peace and love. I'm giving it 30 seconds here. Okay, bye.
I'm just going to say that people make fun of this guy online, and I'll say for good reason. So Matt Turner's reputation is he's a laughing stock because of the fact that he tried to expose Mr. Beast for, I don't know, being a mean employer or something. Something like that. Like, it's stupid. So he had a disagreement with him over, like, workplace environments, just something really minor like that, and people just, like, were ragging on him for it. And he now had the opportunity to actually talk about something legitimate, and he passed up the opportunity. You want to guess why? Because of my politics. He saw that I met Kyle Rittenhouse in person.
The shooting left 2 people dead and another injured.
And 26, 19, Smears, former Beast. I guarantee you, if this guy had agreed to work with, if this guy had agreed to work with Prism, I guarantee you, Prism would have been like sucking this dude off.
And he was saying I was alt. Matt Turner said I was alt-right. I just think it's ridiculous. I do think that the fact that he let politics get in the way, I think that whole attitude is very stupid. The fact that he sits there and goes, yeah, you know what, I know you gotta have some information about this, but you saw Kyle Rittenhouse, so yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna keep screwing myself further. I don't understand that attitude from him. I mean, that's the thing, is people, they're gonna sit here and they're gonna be very surprised about the EDP thing, but one thing I wanna mention is I did try to reach out to Chris Hansen, and Chris Hansen got my message because I reached out to him on Cameo. I understand that Cameo is not really a messenger app, but still, I let him know the situation. He asked me to contact him further about it.
Hey Martin, Chris Hansen here.
Weirdly keeps contacting people through Cameo. First paid for the action. Very
Thanks for reaching out. You can reach me at nvcchrishansen@gmail.com. That's nvcchrishansen@gmail.com, and put Cameo in the subject line, and I'll take a look at everything you have. Thanks so much.
I followed his instructions, and he ghosted me completely. So don't say I didn't try to reach out to Chris Hansen. I did reach out to Chris Hansen. I'll put the video right here as well. One of the people I thought of reaching out to was Sam Hyde. And the reason that I thought about reaching out to Sam Hyde was because I saw that, people were saying that he was alt-right, and he was getting canceled. And I know he still is on YouTube, and he's still on other social media platforms, but he had like his payment systems cut off. And I understand that he had a show that was on Cartoon Network that was also canceled because of his political views. And I was sitting here thinking, this guy actually might want to help me out with this. And so I was thinking about how would I even reach out to Sam Hyde. Of course, I tried to.
Bro, you are actually mentally handicapped for thinking that Sam Hyde was going to help you with this. You are just mentally retarded.
reached Tom Heidecker, because that's someone that's associated with him. Let's just say I reached his office guy. His
Oh.
wasn't too happy to speak with me, especially when I mentioned Sam Hyde, I guess.
Why?
I will say, I saw
this
Christoph
cat.
Petty was in his show, Fish Tank, and he was hanging out with him, and I thought, wait a second. Idubbbz did a documentary about Airsoft Fatty, and in that documentary, he has one of his friends there, Robert. And so I decided to reach out to Robert because I couldn't get a hold of Airsoft Fatty, and I got a hold of Robert. And so Robert, he told me that, oh yeah, he stopped talking to Airsoft Fatty, he didn't have contact with him, and that was at the time. And yeah, I explained the situation to him, and he wanted to help out, so he came along for the ride. And so one of the other people I was thinking of contacting was Calvin. Well, I don't want to say his full name, but I'll just say Calvin. Leafy is here. You guys might know him as.
Jesus Christ.
The reason why I wanted to contact him might shock you guys. It's not because of what he's done online. It's not because of his following or anything, because in fact he actually doesn't have his YouTube channel anymore, and he's banned off of Twitter or X. It's
Let's see. Fatty reaches out. Leafy continues picking people being manipulative. I is an A. There it is.
because of where he lives. He lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that's the same place as the Latter-day Saints. And I was thinking that, okay, you know, that might be an important area because of the fact that, you know, they're associated with Mr. Beast. Maybe there's something that can happen there. I don't know. So I tried to contact Leafy is here. I donated to his stream, told him to check out that. He said, okay, I'll check this out. Never did. So I contacted his mutuals, and they talked to him about it. Supposedly, they sent me a screenshot that they DM'd him or whatever. They wanted to interview me, and they wanted to interview. I brought along Robert for the interview, and of course, I still have the interview. What happened in there is, of course, Robert. He's pretty disgusted by this stuff too, and he said some very rash things. Because keep in mind, Robert's not all mentally there. He has some mental illness, and I mean this, and I'm not in trying to insult him. He can't help it, and I'm gonna say this like I do treat him respectfully because it's not he can't really control that, and he's not completely devoid of a moral compass. He thought all the stuff that I was telling him was disgusting as well about this guy, and he said some very rash things, which I don't think he should be held accountable for because of the fact that he's in a different kind of mental state. He lives in a group home.
What Chris Tyson has done or is doing, honestly, from what I've heard of Mr. Beast is a pretty cool dude. But from what I've heard recently of Chris Tyson, I kind of want to murder the bastard.
Oh no.
Jesus.
We don't want any physical harm.
what?
No.
I plead the fifth. Never mind.
I'm not
Can you repeat that?
That's Robert saying that.
Say that
That's
again?
Robert. I don't know.
I'm
He had threatened Chris Tyson. He said that he wanted to, I'll just say, hurt the guy, and I told him that I do not support that. I do not condone that. Yeah, definitely no violence towards him. I do not want any of that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we never got in contact with Leafy. I did get his address at one point. I was thinking about sending a package. I never did that because, you know, at this point, he should already be aware. And if not, like, I've done multiple attempts at contacting him, and I don't know, man. I don't think he was too up for it. I was brainstorming with Robert. I was trying to think of ways that I could draw attention to this whole thing, maybe try to like release information somehow. One of the ideas was he really seemed to have a grudge against Idubbbz because of the whole documentary. He's still very salty about that. He holds a lot of anger and resentment towards Idubbbz because he's, at least from what he told me, he didn't really mean everything he said. And it's very clear that he was in a vulnerable state because the guy is he has some mental challenges. And I'm not saying he's slow. I'm saying that he's not all there necessarily. And he didn't necessarily mean all the stuff that he said. And so he was still very upset by that. I came up with the idea of, hey, well, you know, if you still have something against that guy, because he said something more extreme. Robert said, oh, I want to find that guy's house, and I want to kill him. I told him, hey, well, that's extreme. And so I told him that, you know, there's a better way, and of course, the idea was, hey, you know, we're already in contact with this guy, Bryant Moreland. Let's just get him to call Idubbbz a,
Hey, yo, Joma, a.k.a. my motherfucking main nigga Idubbbz. What's up with it, bro? It's your boy, Eat That Pussy 445. Let me talk to you for a minute, man. Because I'm hearing on the street, my nigga, that you are a motherfucking cuck, that you get pleasure out of seeing your wife fuck other niggas.
We could just get EDP to call Idubbbz a cuck. And that's exactly what I did. And that's how that video was made. Now, regarding Chris Chan, I saw that Chris Chan was in the news again, or news cycle online. And of course, I had been keeping track of his court date that was coming because I needed someone that would actually just, you know, fully cooperate because EDP was not very cooperative. And I was thinking of having Chris Chan cover and get out all this information. Obviously, these people, they're not my first choice. Obviously, I reached out to a lot of people. And of course, what ended up happening was there was also another thing that was going on with Shadman because I thought about talking to that guy himself. And of course, he also had a court date. So I talked to someone that I knew was in California on Discord. And of course, I bought the court record from the Glendale courthouse. And so I knew where Shadman was going to be, or Shadai I knew when and where he was going to be. And so this guy was supposed to go see him in person there at the courthouse. He was supposed to stake it out. He was supposed to see him there in person. Meanwhile, I was going to be going to Virginia and seeing Chris Chan, and, you know, staking out the courthouse, speaking to Chris Chan, trying to get him to cover it. What ended up happening was the day of the court date, it was hit by two natural disasters, Shadman's courthouse. And of course, they had to reschedule it. And pretty much the guy got cold feet, and he didn't want to go and see Shadman, I guess, at that point when it was rescheduled, which is a shame because I might have been able to get into contact with him. I honestly don't know, and maybe this would have provided more insight as to this whole thing, what was going on here. And so with the Chris Chan thing, I took me and my business partner, and we went to Virginia. We drove halfway across the United States. We searched the Chesterfield Gateway Homes because we believed he was there. That's where people speculated he was being held at. And we looked for Chris Chan. We did not see him there. It was a group home for mentally challenged people. On the day of the court date, what we did was we showed up early. We sat there. I had my business partner stay in the front. I checked around the back because we didn't know where he was going to show up. Eventually, I was just nervous by like the overwhelming amount of police there. So I moved to the front with them, and then lo and behold, Chris Chan pulls up, and I'm like, "Yep, see, told you, I knew he was going to come here." And actually, right there. Crazy, man. I told you. Literally, pull out my phone quickly, try to record him, go walking into the courthouse. Of course, we wait for him to get out. I have a letter just in case he has like an enabler or, bodyguard, something present. Sure enough, he comes on out, and it's the lawyer from the quickie. And what ends up happening there is I don't get to speak to him that long, but I'm able to give him the letter with my contact information, and he never got back to me. And of course, we're not going to give up on this. So we went to Branchland. He wasn't there either, and Barbara was there. She came out. We didn't really want to like speak with her. We had no business with her. We just took off at that point. We're like, yeah, he's not here. Let's just go. And yeah, of course, I spoke with some other people that were associated with him at some point in time.
I need to re-listen to this Shadman part.
And he never got back to me. Up early, we sat there. I had the States trying to get him to cover it. What ended up happening was the day of the court date, it was hit by two natural disasters, Shadman's courthouse. And Shadman, because I thought about talking to that guy himself, because he was not very cooperative. And I was thinking of having Chris Chan cover and get out all this information. Obviously, these people are not my first choice. Obviously, I reached out to a lot of people. And of course, what ended up happening was there was also another thing that was going on with Shadman, because I thought about talking to that guy himself. And of course, he also had a court date. So I talked to someone that I knew was in California on Discord. And of course, I bought the court record from the Glendale courthouse. And so I knew where Shadman was going to be, or Shaddai Pergine, I knew when and where he was going to be. And so this guy was supposed to go see him in person there at the courthouse. He was supposed to stake it out. He was supposed to see him there in person. Meanwhile, I was going to be going to Virginia, and seeing Chris Chan, sticking out the courthouse, speaking to Chris Chan, trying to get him to cover it. What ended up happening was the day of the court date, it was hit by two natural disasters, Shadman's courthouse. We challenged people. On the day of the court date, what we did, able to give him the letter with my contact information, and he never got back to me. And of course, we're not going to give up on this. So we went to Branchland. He wasn't there either, and Barbara was there. She came out. We didn't really want to like speak with her. We had no business with her. We just took off at that point. We're like, yeah, he's not here. Let's just go. And yeah, of course, I spoke with some other people that were associated with him at some point in time because I think I was trying to still get in contact with them. Eventually, at one point, I was DMing Gino Samuel. He wasn't really too interested in talking to me at all, so I guess, whatever, because this is kind of something that I think he'd be interested in putting in his documentary, but whatever. It's not like I planned things to happen this way. It's not like I knew Joshua Moon was the guy that got this out at the time, and I was like, oh, I gotta go see Chris Chan at Kiwi Farms. No, he was in the news cycle, and I was like, okay, well, people are paying attention to this guy. I could get him to release information, and I do that. It just so happened that the guy that got me involved was just the owner of Kiwi Farms. I had no idea. I didn't know about this at the time. And so, of course, Chris Chan, I recorded a video when I got back that details, like how he acted. Of course, Jesus, I saw the Sanchi medallion person. Heck, I got one right here, because, I saw, by the time I got back, I saw he was selling the Sanchi medallions again. I'm like, I'll get one. So I got one, wore it, because, I guess people are going to want to spread it around if I put it on. I don't know. Yeah, one thing I want to mention is another person I DM'd on Twitter. I had no idea that this person was associated with Chris Chan so closely. I thought it was maybe someone that had contact with them. I thought it was someone that just isn't really genuine with him. But it's some person named Helena Forenza. I don't know much about them. And of course, I was trying to explain the situation the best I can, but I couldn't say everything, so I couldn't mention the information I was trying to get out. And what ended up happening was they were trying to get me to become a writer for the Sonic 2 comics. I declined the offer. I did not take them up on the offer because
Bro, you're getting trolled and memed on by these fucking people.
well, I just there's things I want to do in the future. It doesn't have anything to do with the Sonic 2 comics, and I don't want to be known as the Sonic 2 fan fiction guy, or not fan fiction, but the Sonic 2
I'm just gonna make sure that people know you as the weirdo that stalks like all these fucking people.
Maybe I might take them up, and maybe I might write a chapter for the Sonic 2 comics. You never know. You never know. I could. But in the meantime, I said no. Okay. I did not say no. I just was more focused on getting out the information. If that makes any sense. So I also contacted Cheeto at one point. What happened with that was I was in his Discord, and there's someone that talks to him on a semi-regular basis. I saw he was in a voice chat with him at one point, and of course, he tells him about this, and he tells me that he said, like, I explained everything, by the way. I explained everything that happened, and he said, I don't care. I already know he's a groomer. So yeah, there we go. So he didn't want to help me out with that because I don't know why. He just didn't really care that much. So yeah, Cheeto could have covered this, but I guess he didn't want to. So I don't know. That's on him. After many months later, I decided that because of this wild goose chase adventure, this whatever you want to call it, this journey. Pretty much almost a year went by at this point, or a year went by, and still the information has not gotten out. And so, of course, I ran into this problem, and I was like, you know what, at this point, maybe I could just use the fact that I tried to have EDP help me expose this, but at the same time, I couldn't say who it was because I was worried about them deleting everything, because I saw Chris Tyson delete these tweets, I saw Chris Tyson cover up stuff. So I made the video, EDP is helping me expose the scandal, and what happened is, after I made that video, this girl, who I should not name, that was a victim of EDP, decided to contact me and say that she was really upset about the fact that EDP was helping me try to get this out. So I was like, man, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? What if I contact Gideon? I could get Gideon to cover this then. Or not Gideon to cover this, but I can get Gideon to reveal it in a live stream. You can't pick out the parts. Yeah, so basically, I went on to Gideon's live stream, and I explained what was going on. The only person, and this is going to sound insane, but I can prove it, the only person that has actually agreed to help me is the one person that everybody knows is a predator.
I don't even know what to put here.
And that's EDP 445. I'm not lying. I can prove this.
That's the guy that agreed to help you?
Yes. And of course, he friended me on Discord. He did not do things the way that I asked to have them done because I was really worried about someone trying to cover up information or pick information out, or just completely taking it and, just saying that they found it when in reality they didn't. When I found it, or I spent a pretty long time doing this. So at this point, I got to have my name attached because I've just gone through so much. And of course, he wanted me to send him everything. I told him in the live stream that I didn't want to send it to him, and that.
Honored. Jesus Christ. You want them to add their name to what you found and what you're looking up, but you don't want them to do it without crediting you. So you want to use their platform, but you don't want them to take credit. You were just wanting clout, bro. You just wanted clout.
I wanted to do it in a live stream. So that being said, after that, of course, Vertius. I mentioned Vertius. I can't talk very much about him because, again, legal contracts are ongoing police investigations, so I can't say anything about him. I'll say he's a very good man. He's been doing very good work for about a year. And so now I gotta talk. I cannot talk too much about this, but Mike Klum, oh boy, Mike Klum offered. He wanted to get me in the documentary, and I can't say my interaction with Mike Klum before this or what led to my introduction to Mike Klum because, like I said before, legal contracts or ongoing police investigations. So I can't say much about that. All I can say is that I might end up in the documentary whether I like it or not. That's all I can say is that because I feel like I've been pushed, pulled, all this other stuff. Lastly, on this whole special ed journey, if that's what you want to call it, on this strange journey. Of course, me and Vertius, we contacted the person that Chris Tyson was talking to since this guy was 13 and Chris Tyson was 20, I believe. He was in college, making friends with a middle schooler and talking to him online. And of course, he admitted to this in the interview. But I'm gonna have to do another part. I've been talking for a pretty long time. It's hot as hell outside, so I'm gonna take a break. One thing I want to say is this, and this is about Mr. Beast, is I understand that he's done a lot of good. He's cured people of blindness. He's done a lot of charity. But the thing is, this has just been weighing on me for such a long time now. It's been just over a year. And the thing is, every single time I see Mr. Beast brought up, and this is just me being genuine, I just feel disgust. And the reason why is because all this stuff about like just pedophilia, like the pedophilic art, and him talking to like making friends with a 13-year-old and talking about inappropriate topics, and him kissing his son on the lips and all this other stuff, it's just been when I have to sit down, have dinner with my family, or hang out with my friends, and for a year just talk about EDP this, Shadman this, Chris Tyson this, it's draining. It really is draining. This whole thing has been a blight on me. And every single time that I see his face pop up, and every single time I see like he's apparently getting his own box at a fast food chain I eat at, I just feel disgust because this whole thing has just been a very unpleasant experience for me. It's been very terrible. It's something that's been weighing on me. It's something that's been stressing me out. It's something that I just had to deal with for a year. Nothing good has pretty much come out of this. Okay, it's been nothing but bad for me. I mean, of course, I definitely had some unique experiences from this, but at the end of the day, it's just been terrible. And every single time I see Mr. B's face, I just get reminded of this, and I'm just tired of seeing his face. And again, I understand that he's probably a good guy behind the scene, so he's probably a really great guy. But just my experience with this whole thing, it's just terrible. This whole thing has just been a very terrible experience for me for over a year because my family and friends have been really wanting me to get this out, and it's just like I haven't really gotten to go do all the stuff that I was doing before. Like I used to go to these Turning Point meetings. I used to get active and do stuff with the Turning Point stuff, but I just haven't been able to go there for a year because I contacted the regional manager guy, if that's what you want to call him, and of course he asked me to send him this. I sent him this, and of course he never returned my phone calls. If I were to go there, the only thing I'd be talking about is what I was working on this whole time, this tremendous task, and it's just been draining on me, and it's just been hammering on me every single day. But I know I have to put up with it because it's the right thing to do, and at the end of the day, I had to put my ass on the line, and my reputation on the line, just because I was trying to do the right thing. I'm very genuine about this. This whole thing has just been very terrible because of this guy being in the children's entertainment industry, and I think it's really messed up that this responsibility has been placed on me to get out, just because I discovered it. And I think at the end of the day, I'm just saying, this whole thing about these creeps and these terrible people, it's just talking about them every single day. I don't think I have the stomach for it. I really don't. Because I don't know how Chris Hansen does it. Because whenever I go eat with my family, I don't want to talk about these things. But it was a necessary thing to talk about because of all this stuff that was happening and the expectation of me getting it out. It was a very unpleasant experience, and every single time that I hear about Mr. Beast or see all this, I just get reminded of this terrible stuff that I've been through at this point. And I don't want to hear about Mr. Beast anymore. I don't want to see his face. But he's the largest content creator on YouTube, or one of them. So I just keep seeing his face over and over again. And me personally, I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's the thing, is I'm sure he's a great guy, but just my experience with this whole thing, it's just been terrible. It's hard to put into words, but I'm trying to do the best I can. This whole thing, it's just been terrible. That's how I would describe it. It's just been terrible. Seriously. You honestly think I wanted to talk to a guy like EDP? You honestly think I want to talk to a guy like Christian after the things that
52. Think. Do you think I wanted to talk about slash to a guy like EDP? Do you seriously think I wanted to talk to someone like Chris Chan? Yeah, bro, I honestly do. That as well.
came out about him and what he did, sure. I will admit, I was entertained by the meme status a little bit. I did enjoy that. But do you honestly think I sat there and go, wow, I really talked to a guy that did these things to his own mom allegedly? It's like, no, it's a very terrible thing. It's terrible. And at the end of the day, of course, there's just a lot of terrible people out there, and I know you can interact with all these terrible people, but I don't want to associate with these people, and it puts me in a very awkward place where I hardly have the options to get this out. It puts me in an awkward place because when my stepfather tells me, by any means necessary, get this out, and I take him for his word, by any means necessary, that means talk to a predator to expose a predator, and that means stake out a courthouse to try to get out this information. That means do all these crazy shenanigans to just get this out. It's insane. This whole thing has just been batshit insane. It's been a shit show from the start. And frankly, I don't want to deal with this, but I know I have to. And I know I'm eccentric. I know I'm goofy. I know I'm all this stuff. But at the end of the day, EDP is a terrible person. He's a piece of trash that will be cleaned up soon. Trust me when I say that. He will be cleaned up soon. And I don't mean he's not getting murdered. I'm saying that piece of trash is going to get cleaned up soon. I can't say anything about it legally, but
I can't say anything about it legally, guys, but here I go mentioning it again.
this whole thing's been terrible. That's how all I can describe it. It's just terrible. And I'm just ranting and venting at the end because I just want people to know, like, imagine a full year of your life where you deal with, like, I don't think most people can even, like, comprehend just trying to get information out about someone that has someone that's on team 250 million subscribers. It would be just unimaginable to them. But here I am right now, trying to do it. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to do it this point. There's just move on with my life and drop this and not worry about this. And I guess that means he got away with it, because what else can I do at this point?
You should have done that in the first place when nobody wanted to give you the time of day, bro.
It's something that has just crept into every single aspect of my life. It's just been very unpleasant. It's been very terrible. And I guess what I'm saying is that's what I just associate Jimmy with at this point when I see his face. And that's the thing, is I know he hardly had anything to do with this, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how much of this he knew. I mean, the poster is right in front of his face. Like, come on. Oh my god. Seriously. I'm just telling you, that's what goes through my mind, and I'm just sick and tired of dealing with this whole thing. I just want to get it over with because I want to move on to other things. There is something positive that came out of this, and I'm very politically involved, if you haven't learned that already, with the Turning Point stuff, and just the stuff I focus on. I founded a non-profit because of this whole thing that's happened to me. This whole thing that's terrible, this whole thing of me just trying to get out this information, but at the same time, I just can't cover it because I'm so small. nonprofit that I founded because I realized that, of course, Jimmy, I know he claims that, oh, well, the stance that I take is, I'm pro-transgender. But, the stuff that you had back in the day, we know what you really think. And, of course, when you were making fun of transgenders, saying that you want to become an Apache attack helicopter, you put on pieces of cardboard on your arm, or whoever did that, that was in there, I can't remember who that was. We know what you really think about it. And, of course, all I want to say is I think it's very terrible that you ever have to be in the position where you can't actually embrace what you actually believe in. And I think a lot of the stuff that comes about this is because YouTube is a monopoly, and that's true, and that's a problem, and this is something that is completely separate from this whole thing, but this is what came from this whole shenanigan, this whole goose chase, if you want to call it, this journey. I do think that YouTube needs a serious competitor, and I have found a solution. People scoff at Rumble, they put Rumble down as a backwater website. They are right, it is, it's not viable at the moment, but they have all the infrastructure for it to become viable, and that's something I want to try to work on, is I want to make it my personal mission to make Rumble a viable service just like YouTube. Because frankly, I think it's terrible how all these content creators are under YouTube's boot. I think it's terrible with all the political censorship stuff that happens. I think, personally, because if you know about Project Veritas, you know about the Twitter files, you already know what's going on behind the scenes with, like, big tech corporations. I want to make sure that there's an actual competitor to YouTube, and that their monopoly comes to it. That is something that can't exist, I think.
Jesus. Bro yapped for so long they cut him off. What does he mean when he says he's founded a non-profit?
But they have all the infrastructure for it to become viable, and that's something that is a monopoly. But at the same time, I just can't cover it because I'm so... There is something, actually, no, there is something positive that came out of this, and I'm very politically involved, if you haven't learned that already, with the Turning Point stuff, and just the stuff I focus on. I founded a non-profit because of this whole thing that's happened to me. This whole thing that's terrible, this whole thing of me just trying to get out this information, but at the same time, I just can't cover it because I'm so small. What came of this was a non-profit that I founded because I realized that, of course, Jimmy, I know he claims that, oh, well, the stance that I take is, I'm pro-transgender. But, the stuff that you had back in the day, we know what you really think. And, of course, when you were making fun of transgenders, saying that you want to become an Apache attack helicopter, you put on pieces of cardboard on your arm, or whoever did that, that was in there, I can't remember who that was.
Bro is literally like schizo rambling at the end. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe I'll look into this later. Says he has a non-profit. I don't know what the hell he means by that. I don't know if he like actually has a non-profit or if he's just bullshitting.
We know what you really... Oh man, so it started with a post I saw on 4chan, and in this post, it detailed Chris Tyson's interest in Shadman, and of course, this happened when he came out as transgender. Let me say this right now. It's my personal belief. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't think with modern technology people can change genders. I don't.
Different shirt. Day. Videos.
Don't believe in that at all. I believe he's still a man. But again, the fact that he came out as transgender doesn't really have much to do with his interest in this kind of artwork. So
you're right. So why do you keep mentioning it?
Covering the artwork stuff, all this degenerate, disgusting stuff involving the depiction of children, which I know Shadman puts like he doesn't. That's complete bullshit. Shadman does depict children. And so what I want to say is the history of Shadman, also known as Shaddai Pergine. That is his real name, by the way. Let's just get that out there. Shadbase's name is Shaddai Pergine. And so this guy has drawn depictions of real children on multiple occasions, and he has drawn things from, we're talking about children that were content creators, such as Lieutenant Corbis. We're talking about Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter. He drew pornography of her and like Donald Trump or something. You have Daphne Keens, which by the way, he actually was threatened with legal action from both Keemstar and the Daphne Keens team because people were sending her artwork of her being raped. So you can see that there's a lot of twisted things that came from this man, and you have multiple occasions where Chris Tyson is engaging with this person. I'll just show you exactly what he engaged with and what he did, and I want you to be the judge of it. In my opinion, it's absolutely disgusting. There's no really good excuse for it. I understand that a lot of people have tried to brandish this as being an edgy joke. of some kind. But when you see this, I think you're going to see that there's no one laughing, there's no joke, there's no sustenance. It's not targeted towards anyone. It's just him just commenting on blatant depictions of children in these animated pornographic scenarios. So what we're going to start off with is something that isn't too bad necessarily. It's a regular piece of artwork. It's some character from a Disney movie. And of course, here's Chris Tyson saying a random Mr. Beast meme on Shad. Love it. And Mr. Beast is surprisingly in the comment section. Didn't expect him to be there. He says this is all we've ever wanted. We can quit now. Now, I know he's most likely only in there because of Chris Tyson. This, honestly, isn't that bad. There's nothing bad here, but it's the stuff that's later, and the fact of when Shadman was known for this. So, I took a screen recording of this. What I want to talk about is Chris Tyson was following Shadman on Twitter. He silently unfollowed him recently of, I believe it was this year, or maybe it was later last year, but he silently unfollowed him. He was following him. I took a screen recording, and I'll put the screen recording right here so you can see it. But yes, he was following Shadman. Shadai Progene, at one point, discusses him depicting minors in these pornographic scenarios, and there's a date attached to that. It's in a YouTube video. I'll get to that. The first thing I want to start off is one thing that I know he cannot explain is this one tweet. It's right here. I know you might have a hard time seeing it. You have it right here. He says, and this tweet is still up, by the way. You can look this up right now. The tweet is still up right now. He says, "Keep my favorite snack in the spaghetti." Now, it looks harmless at first glance. Like, oh, what is this? The meme of people eating Tide Pods. It's like, yeah, okay. But if you actually try to look at the post, it's taken down. The original post is a comic that was taken down offline. And you can see why. Because there are archives online. There's Shadman archives. And it was a comic called Sunday Dinner, where it was depicting a mother and her 2 kids, and she was molesting her son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, chill out, Jesus.
What were you doing commenting on that? What were you doing just saying, oh, look at this. Oh, there's my favorite meme in some animated child porn. And this is the same guy that went to the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards. Oh my god. Seriously, like, Philip DeFranco can't even play out of this one. Just straight up, like, I'm gonna put a censor. There's no good explanation for this. It's just straight up pornography depicting minors being sexually abused by their parent, and there's Chris Tyson engaging in it. Now, another one I'd like to talk about is this show that Chris Tyson knows about, he's aware about, he's watched it. There's a show he was aware about called Rising of the Shield Hero. I've never seen the show personally. I've looked into the show. There's a character in the show called Raftalia. I believe he also purchased a figurine of Raftalia. She's like a raccoon humanoid thing. It's just anime logic at that point. And so, in the show, she gets transformed into a kid for some reason. I know, weird anime trope. I don't know why. She just gets turned into a kid. So, of course, people were sending screenshots. They were sending these screenshots of Raftalia after she's been transformed into a kid, supposedly in the show. And they're sending them to Shadman, Shadai Progene, whatever, the pedophile artist. And, of course, he doesn't know what it is. He's like, what is this and why do people keep sending me this? Because, I wouldn't expect the average person to know what the show is. I don't even know what the show is really. I had to look into it. I had to ask some friends. And so, here's Chris Tyson, a guy who knows about the show, knows, I guess, likes this character Raftalia or whatever. He says, please, Shad, please. And here's the thing, is in here, you can literally see the comments below that. People know that, hey, this is kind of fucked, right? This is kind of fucked. There's people that say, don't ask, just stop. Mr. Beast, yo, Mr. Beast, please check Chris. You're literally fucking asking Shadman at that point to just draw child porn, basically. Animated child pornography, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I know it's a very gray area when it comes to that, but that's basically what it is. And dude, even if it's not straight up illegal, the fact that you're engaging in any of this stuff and you're in the children's entertainment industry is just terrible. And what's crazy is this stuff is still up right now. You can literally go look it up. I imagine he's going to delete that too, like some other stuff he's deleted. But don't worry, I took screen recordings of it and screenshots of them. So, yeah, here we go. And here is Jay Lullaby, an artist, another artist that draws this sort of thing. And here is a comic, again, of another mother molesting her child. In this case, it is Caillou. And here he is. He says, help, I need adult. And there's Shadman in there. And it's like, what the fuck? third time's the charm, I guess. Like, holy shit. And if you thought that was bad enough, it's like, all right, maybe some weird coincidences. No, there's something I gotta talk about. Shadman has a YouTube channel. He calls it Shadbase, and he made a video called I Like to Draw Lollies. Now, in that video, you want to go to the description of the video because he says it right here. He says, okay, this one is my perspective on a controversial topic that is a significant part of my career. So that is a very important part to highlight right there. So you have the artist himself saying it is a significant part of his career. And when was that? That was August 19 of 2016. Interesting. You know why that's interesting? Because in case you hadn't noticed, that took place in 2016. Yeah, all that other stuff happened past that. All that other stuff had happened past 2016 when he said it was a significant part of his career. And what I want to say here is there is a tweet which Chris has deleted. You know why? He deleted this tweet because he knows it makes him look bad. He deleted this tweet because he knows how bad it is when people started finding out. And I took a screen recording, I took a screenshot, and you'll see why he doesn't want people to see this. Because he shouted out Shadbase. Okay, so he shouted out Shadbase way after he was known for this. Way after. He says, shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today. Accidentally pulled up his website on stream. And you know, when you say that, when you talk about today, and you just accidentally pull up his website because it autofills in the Google search, that means that you've been there before, and you're talking like you're a regular. So if this guy is a pedophile artist of some kind, and you are regularly going to his website, what does that say? So that being said, here's another thing, which isn't as bad, but still, it's just more engagement with Shadman. He's made a comic called The Incestables. It's some sort of comic series with characters from The Incredibles, and there was a movie that came out. And here you go, you have Shadman, he's posting on Twitter, Jedi Regine. He says, best scene in the film, by the way. And then he comments, my daughter doesn't usually squirt like this. And you see Chris Tyson down in the thread, he says, low-key, she cute. Yep, more engagement with Shadman.
Jesus.
Yeah, and, oh boy. Yeah, so this one's really bad. Chris Tyson had purchased artwork from Shadman, a poster, and he put it on his wall. But it's more than just that. People have talked about this poster, and there's someone out there named Tipster that decided to, they said, oh, it's up to debate. Is it, it's a flat-chested person, but is it supposed to be depicting a child? Well, if there ever was a debate, let me end the debate right now. So there is a tweet made by this person right here, because the original Shadman website is taken down, it's gone, but there's a tweet that has a screenshot from the actual website that shows this page from the poster Chris Tyson had purchased and put up on his wall. It's titled KYS, and before I had mentioned, Shadman used to have the tag Lolly on his website. That's what he would put for all of his pedophile artworks, because it was supposed to be a depiction of a child. And of course, he had changed it when he depicted Daphne Keynes, who was 12 years old, being raped. He got threatened with legal action, so he changed the tag from Lolly to Smolly. Lo and behold, on this tweet, it shows that Chris Tyson had purchased an artwork that was tagged as part of his pedophile art collection. Not only that, he goes as far to even say, this is coming from the guy who owns a Shadbase drawing and has it as the centerpiece in his living room. And by the way, this is after he had said that it was a significant part of his career. So not only should you have known who this guy was by then, but you also purchased a poster which he had tagged on his website as part of his pedophile art collection. And it gets worse. How could it get worse? Well, in the video on the Mr. Beast channel, tipping pizza delivery guys $10,000, you can see there's a brief moment where it's on the wall in plain sight, just as Chris Tyson stated, and Jimmy looks right up at the wall, right in that direction. And they're in the same frame. Mr. Beast is in the same frame as pedophile artwork. What the fuck? Why was this everything? Why did this happen? He's literally looking right up at it. There's no excuse. You cannot say you didn't know anything about this when it is literally right in front of your face. It is insane. Like, Jimmy, what do you have to do with this? What do you have to do with this, Jimmy? I don't know what your role in this is. I don't think you played much of a role. But when I go into your old server and I see your old Discord account, which it's crazy. His old Discord account is called Jack and the Goat, and he had like 87 messages, but he changed the name.
This is like the most potent and powerful piece of evidence. I don't understand why this guy didn't just make the whole video about this shit and researching this shit.
of the original account, and he deleted the messages. This happened like March of this year, but I saved some screenshots. Yeah, in the server of from 2018, March of 2018, there were people talking in there. They said, I should have expected hentai knowing Beast like Shadman. I don't know what that's about. Honestly, don't know what that's about. If they're referring to you, Mr. Beast, I know you're in the server. Your original account name was Jack and the Goat, which, you know, very interesting choice of name, but it's sort of similar like my name before I changed it. I just think it's interesting. I'm not sure why you deleted your account on that Discord server. If they're referring to you, Mr. Beast, I know you're in the server. Your original account name was Jack and the Goat, which, you know, very interesting choice of name, but it's sort of similar like my name before I changed it. I just think it's interesting. I'm not sure why you deleted your account on that Discord server. I'm not sure why you changed the username from Jack and the Goat to Jackeen earlier this year. But what I will say is, you know, there's nothing wrong that I saw. Maybe you didn't want people to see that you talked with some furries at one point on the server. I don't know. I don't know why you did it. But yeah, that being said, come on, Jimmy. It's like here. Let me just say something to you specifically. So there's all these interactions with Chris Tyson and Shadman, and you're right here. The poster's right in front of you. If you're still defending this guy and you're still keeping him on, you don't think anything of this, then I'm going to assume that maybe you have some involvement with this. I have no idea. I have no idea. From what I can tell, you were just roped into this because of Chris Tyson. I honestly don't know. But that being said, I don't know until you give some sort of statement on this and why it was right there when you were...
I love that. Wife.
roommates with the guy. I have no idea because I know you and Chris Tyson were roommates at the time. There's an article about that. Let me go find that. It's in here somewhere. It's like, yeah, so of course there was an article about you and Chris Tyson. You both were roommates living together. So I honestly don't know, man. And there's actually, I don't know if you noticed this, but on one of the bracelets, it says Keemstar. And I get what he's trying to say in the picture. Keemstar is cancer. That's what he's trying to say because he has like all these other things like leukemia and cancer on there with the symbol, the ribbon symbol. But he's making a reference to another piece of artwork which he had drawn of Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter. So you have a guy right here who posts a comic of Dipper and Mabel making out, which if you don't know, they're like, what, 8 years old, 10 years old, 12, something like that. They're kids. So they're making out with each other, and she says, please don't stop, or whatever, please don't stop. And here's Chris Tyson again commenting on the comic of them making out. They're twins, so at that point, it's just masturbation, right? On a comic about 2 kids making out. Great. And of course, you have more interactions with Shadman. You say, no Beast Boy trap. Shad, you've changed, which by the way, when you say you've changed, that means that you are very familiar with who this person is. You know what they do, and you're used to it. So that also adds on top of that right there. Of course, you have the one where people provide context for, where he said that bitch looked good for a 4-year-old. He's referring to the Filthy Frank song about Dora the Explorer. Again, I know about Filthy Frank. I like Filthy Frank. I love Filthy Frank. I understand that was comedy. It was off-color comedy. Now you have this one. I saw Philip DeFranco talked about this one. He said, nothing gets my non-cranking like some lolly. And in this tweet, he is making fun of someone else that was, I guess, was talking about Lolicon, which is ironic because this guy's commenting on Lolicon himself, or purchasing Lolicon artwork and putting it up on his wall and saying it's the centerpiece of his living room. He's roasting someone for acting degenerate in public, whatever. This one you could say is a joke, very strange joke. It is a repost of someone else's tweet where he said, where this anime character says, my dick is like an amusement park, kids get to ride for free. I'm not really sure what the punchline is. I guess it's just supposed to be shock humor, you're saying you're a pedophile or something, but again, that one you can claim is a joke. All the other shit is not really much of a joke there. Another thing I would like to point out is this person, I don't know if this is their real name or their stage name, but they go by Ella Hollywood. And so Chris Tyson has met up with this person, and supposedly there are allegations against this person for either consuming or distributing child pornography. I don't know how valid these claims are. I can't comment on them. I'm only aware of their existence. Other than that, I'm not too deep in that rabbit hole. I don't know how far that goes, but I think it's worth mentioning. They met up, and these allegations happened in the past. I don't know much about this. If you guys know about this, you can put it in the comment section, or I don't know, maybe do more research on this. I'm not very well versed in Ella Hollywood or whoever this is, but I still think I should point that out. Another thing I should mention is someone replied to Chris Tyson. The original thread is deleted. I don't know what it was about originally. All I know is this person posted a wallpaper, which I decided to reverse image search, and it is a lolly hentai wallpaper. And he posted a picture of a guy with a camera peeking over a wall. I'm not sure what that's about, but Chris Tyson seemed to think that that was good enough for him, and he liked that comment. Another thing I want to point out is, again, with Chris Tyson's Twitter likes, at one point, he called out Keemstar for photoshopping 13-year-old girls' boobs. And he posted a picture where, I don't know if it was photoshopped, but these are 13-year-old girls. Danielle Bergoli is on the right. She's 13 at the time. And you see Chris Tyson liking a comment that says, if she's 13, I'm 13. And for those of you that don't know what that means that this person was basically saying that they find her attractive and that they don't have to consider their own age because they're whatever age the other person is because they think that they're attractive and that they can bypass any sort of law or regulation that has to do with the age of consent. And of course, Chris Tyson like that. I don't. And again,
Why are you dissecting a joke so autistically?
like if it's a joke, it's a very strange joke because these are real people. You have a real 13-year-old girl at the time, and just very strange. You have these pictures, two pictures, which Chris Tyson had deleted. These two pictures, which Chris Tyson had deleted, of him kissing his son on the lips. He's trying to go for Tom Brady, I guess, but it's a little concerning when this guy is commenting on these comics of kids getting fucked, and you also have these moments where the Snapchat story, he bought these women platform shoes. For his son, and I know that he bought them because they're not his wife's size; they're in his son's size. Not that I know his wife's size, but I know that they're definitely not the same size. So that means he had to go out of his way to purchase him women's platform.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did know her size, you little weirdo.
And so when I see him purchasing artwork that's supposed to be a sexualized depiction of a kid, and he says it's the centerpiece of his living room, and when I see him commenting on a comic of a kid getting molested by his mom, not only once but twice, and when I see him saying please Shad please to a character that gets turned into a child, and then I see all this stuff, I get very concerned. So yes, I have a fucking problem with that. I think any average person, any reasonable person can take a look at that and see that something isn't right there and something's not right with that. Another thing I would like to mention, one last thing, is that in the poster as well, this girl is wearing a hat that says, please be patient, I have autism. And I'd like to say that there's another piece of artwork, Shadman has done this before. He drew a clear depiction of a kid, and he did the same thing with please be patient, I have autism. And he's also done the same thing before, where in another artwork with depictions of children, he's put these vaporwave lines in the background. And as you can see,
Jesus Christ, stop showing it.
And that's just one more thing I want to point out.
Okay. Out of the two videos so far, that was definitely the strongest. All right. Last one. This is the big one.
So disclaimer, I do not know every single thing that happened behind the scenes. I do not know if when they met up, if he was molested or if he acted inappropriately towards them. I do not know these things. What I do know is what I can prove using the evidence I discovered, and the circumstances surrounding all of this as well are very suspicious, but there's something thing that I can show that is illegal. It's disgusting. It's something that you should never be talking about with a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. And we're going to get to that. So I'm not going to say this guy's real name. I'm going to be referring to him by initials. I'm going to say BW. And so what I'm going to say is
Why?
BW. Chris Tyson reached out to this guy when he was 13 years old. Except the problem with that is Chris Tyson started an online friendship with this.
Hmm. I need to reach out to this guy. Not to this other fucking idiot. I need to reach out to the actual quote unquote victim. All right, I reached out to the guy that's involved. Just seeing if he wants to make a statement on Prism. I'm curious to see if this guy has anything he wants to say.
This guy when he was only 13 years old. Now, the problem with that is Chris Tyson was born in July of 1996. Lava GS was born on November 12th, 2003. The problem with that is that there's a 7-year age gap. So when you started socializing with this guy online and building an online connection in some sort of friendship and you talking to this guy, playing video games with him, socializing, he was only 13 years old. He was in middle school and you were in college. You were 20 years old. So that's what I'm going to talk about is why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler? Now, this is all really, really, really bad considering all the other stuff with the art that I talked about, and the fact that you're also bisexual, and the fact that you were talking to this guy one-on-one.
What date was that?
Now, this is all so when you started was born on. Now, the problem with that is Chris. What I'm going to say is BW. Chris Tyson reached out to this guy when he was 13 years old. Except the problem with that is Chris Tyson started an online friendship with this guy when he was only 13 years old. Now, the problem with that is Chris Tyson was born in July of 1996. Lava GS was born on November 12th, 2003. problem with that is that there's a 7-year age gap. So when you started socializing with this guy online and building an online connection in some sort of friendship in 1996, LavaGS was born on November 12th, 2000. 2003. The problem with that is that there's a 7-year age gap. So when you started socializing with this guy online and building an online connection in some sort of friendship, and you talking to this guy, playing video games with him, socializing, he was only 13 years old. He was in middle school, and you were in college. You were 20 years old. So that's what I'm going to talk about: is why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler? Now, this is all really, really, really bad, considering all the other stuff with the art that I talked about, the fact that you're also bisexual, and the fact that you were talking to this guy one-on-one. Unattended, and you also had made this guy your moderator. You also had sent this guy Snapchats, which by the way were inappropriate. You talked some of the subjects that you guys talked about are just inappropriate. He's asking you like these inappropriate questions, and it's someone that you know is 13, and that you should not be talking to someone that is 13 when you are in college. When you are in college, you should not be talking to any middle schoolers, privately one-on-one. It is absolutely unacceptable. And the fact that you are also attracted to men as well as women, you should not be talking to young boys that are in middle school while you're in college. That is disgusting. That is gross. That should not be happening. And so,
Jesus.
what I'm going to say here is I'm going to start talking about the evidence. That's an overall summary of what happened. I'm going to go over each one of these.
Huh? Oh no, I'm just watching the video. What's up, Ed?
So it starts off with him saying his birthday, November 12th, 2023. I am 20 now. When do I get to retire? And of course, this is LavaGS's Twitch right here. And as you can see, he says that when he was 16, he was in a Mr. Beast video. He asked Jimmy, how hard do you want it? 16.
Fucked up from what? The hell do you need surgery for? For your hand?
68 million people have seen it. What I want to start out with is when this guy was really young, he won some sort of competition or was involved, and he DM'd Mr. Beast on Twitter and got sent a knife signed by Mr. Beast. He was like 12 or something, and it was a Karambit signed by Mr. Beast. It was a CSGO Karambit. Sure, that seems to be the first interaction that I can tell. One thing I want to mention is on LavaGS's Twitch account, he puts under friends, Kayla, Chris, they're mainly just from Discord. So Chris is not a family friend. He's a guy that he met online. And of course, he even puts, how did you meet Mr. Beast? I found his channel a few years ago, back when he was small. He had around 500 subs. So again, how did you meet Mr. Beast? I found his channel.
Damn, I'm
channel
sorry to
a few
hear
years
that,
ago,
bro.
back when
What
he was
did
small,
what did they say was wrong?
around 500 subs. So again, this is a guy he met online. He doesn't know this guy. It was a person in college who decided to socialize and make friends with a middle schooler. And so, of course, he's in the video. I made 100 players escape an impossible maze.
Evil. Lava, Pluto, assemble!
Hi, how are you?
I need you to make this 10 times harder.
How hard do you want it, Jimmy?
Hard.
Here we go. So this is the part that is pretty distressing here. So just keep in mind how he's talking to him. And I'm sure they'll have some explanation like, oh, you know, I talk to everybody this way, but come on, you can't be talking to someone who's like super young in middle school this way. Because there are some other posts that are definitely more concerning. He says, I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys want to watch me stream? And Lava it was a CSGO branded. Sure, that seems to be the first interaction that I can tell. One thing I want to mention is on LavaGS's Twitch account, he puts under friends, Caleb, Chris. They're mainly just from Discord. So Chris is not a family friend. He's a guy that he met online. And of course, and comment me, how hard do you want it? 68 million people have seen it. What I want to start out with is when this guy was really young, he won some sort of competition or was involved, and he DM'd Mr. Beast on Twitter and got sent a knife signed by Mr. Beast. He was like 12 or something, and it was a Karambit signed by Mr. Beast. It was a CSGO. He's a guy that he met online.
Evil. Lava, Pluto, assemble!
Hi, how are you?
I need you to make this 10 times harder.
How hard do you want it, Jimmy?
Hard.
Here we go. So this is the part that is pretty distressing here. So just keep in mind how he's talking to him. And I'm sure they'll have some explanation like, oh, you know, I talk to everybody this way, but come on, you can't be talking to someone who's like super young in middle school this way. Because there are some other posts that are definitely more concerning. He says, I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys want to watch me stream?
I have a rare case of trigger finger. Well, at least it wasn't something blood related, but it's still such a pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
And LavaGS says, please stream again. And he says, thanks, Dad. You want to moderate it? And he says, I love to. And keep in mind, he was born November 12, 2003. So at this point, Lava, because I'm just going to say Lava, I will not say his real name. Lava
I'm not gonna say his real name, but at the beginning of this video, I did give you his first two initials. What the fuck? Why?
would have been 14 years old at that point. He would have been 14. And again, you know, why you call him a 14-year-old dad? I don't know. It's weird. It's freaking weird. I gotta point it out.
Jesus Christ.
I know you might say it's bro talk, but there's a lot of weird bro talk in here, so let's get to that. Keep in mind, this is after he made this guy a moderator. He's like 14 years old at this point. Or 15. Yeah, November 12, 2003. Okay, so at this point, Lava is 15, and you have Chris Tyson, who is playing with this guy online on Uno. And Lava GS says, this is pretty accurate. Me and Mangle Pickle can confirm. And he says, it makes me happy, lol. So I'm not really sure why he's deciding to play a card game with someone so young. Because keep in mind, at this point, this guy, he was born in 1996 in July, so he would have been 22, 23.
What's up with the Chris case? The strongest evidence so far was in that Prism showed was in the second video where Chris Tyson appears to be a very big fan of Shadman and is just constantly engaging and fawning over his work and asking for other underage characters or other characters that look underage to be depicted in sexual manners. I would say this is his strongest video. I would say that this video has like the most evidence against Chris. Um, his first video, Prism's first video, is literally just him spurting out and admitting to like the weirdest shit imaginable. He admits to stalking Chris's ex-wife. He admits to stalking Chris Chan and Shadman by finding out their court dates by paying for the court records in order to figure out their next court date to go and meet them there. He admits to sending Chris's wife a package filled with fucking evidence that he's collected against Chris. He's confirmed, or he admitted to reaching out to a bunch of people on Cameo and paying them to talk about this situation. Like, this dude, Prism is a fucking weirdo, bro. He is a stalker, schizo, weird fucking guy. I would say his second video is his best video. His first video is the weirdest so far, and his third video, he's doing a good job of painting Chris like a freak, but he has done literally none of the legwork here. Like, for instance, right here, he's insinuating that like Chris and Lava are playing Uno by themselves. But just from the tweet we're looking at, Uno is or Lava is referring to a third person in the meme itself. So my guess is that Chris or Lava was streaming Uno online and they were playing it together, and so that's why this meme exists. But because Prism has such a hard on to shit on Chris as much as possible, he just completely throws that explanation out of the realm of possibility just so he can shit on Chris further. Exactly, it's a weirdo investigating a weirdo.
And he says, it makes me happy, lol. So I'm not really sure why he's deciding to play a card game with someone so young. Because keep in mind, at this point, this guy, he was born in 1996 in July, so he would have been 22, 23 years old at that point. And yeah, talk to someone really young. Again, more stuff, perfect timing. Holy shit, we accidentally. And yeah, talk to someone really young. Again, more stuff, perfect timing.
Oh yeah, Lil Jon, hashtag mic drop, hashtag mic, hashtag drop, hashtag all I really want for Christmas, hashtag Kool-Aid Man,
Holy shit.
Lava GS underscore perfect timing. Holy shit.
We accidentally predicted this. And he says there's video footage and everything. Man. Now this is the part.
What are you manning about? They're joking about a meme they predicted and you're going, man. What are you talking about? Why are you going, man? So this is, he's like, man, wow, that's crazy. What's crazy, Prism? They're fucking referencing a meme they made prior to this. Oh, I don't want to have to defend Chris Tyson. I don't want to have to do that.
We accidentally predicted this. And he says there's video footage and everything. Man. Now this is the part where I get concerned. I get concerned because this guy that you talk to online, you've been socializing with, you've been playing video games with, he's asking you, Chris, does she know about your hentai addiction? And that's the thing, is this guy, at this point, November 12th, 2003, he would have been 14 years old. So this guy is asking you these questions, and you were talking to him when he was super young. How does he know this? I don't know. But it definitely doesn't look good because this is someone that you were talking to. Again, obviously, I just want to say that this is probably the worst part of all this, and he would have known about your hentai addiction. You've been socializing with, you've been playing video games with. He's asking you, Chris, does she know?
Oh yeah, my favorite part of all of this is that Prism has literally not shown one shred of evidence that what do you call it? Chris has not what do you call it? Not Chris. Prism has not shown 1 ounce of evidence that Chris knew Lava was a minor this entire time. He has not shown anything. Like each of these tweets look really bad only in hindsight that we have because we know that Lava is a minor here. But he has shown literally nothing. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? There might be evidence out there that Chris knew Lava was a minor at this point in time. There might be evidence. We don't have it. Prism doesn't have it. No one has it. And because of that, and because Prism is coming out with these really strong claims, this gives Chris the opportunity to come out and say, well, Lava never told me they were a minor. And in Prism 24's video, or in Prism 42's video, he never shows that I knew that Lava was a minor. This gives Chris leeway that I don't want Chris to have. I don't want Chris to have this wiggle room. I'm getting irritated because Prism keeps putting forward over and over and over and over again into the listener's mind that Chris knew Lava was a minor. He keeps saying, oh, Chris was talking to a middle schooler this way. Chris was talking to a child this way. And he hasn't shown one single text message or DM or email or anything that proves that Chris knew Lava was a minor. I'm waiting for it. There's apparently a meetup that happens later on between Chris, Mr. Beast, and Lava. This happens later on. I'm going to find out. The reason why I'm putting down the years in my notes is because I'm curious to see when this meetup was. If this meetup was before these weird messages, then Chris is dead to rights. If the meetup is after these weird messages, then everything before that meetup can be written off as Chris not knowing Lava was a minor. And then everything after that meetup, I would say, can be used against Chris. But again, I don't know. I don't know how much Chris knew because fucking Prism isn't showing us what Chris may have known.
Know about your hentai addiction. And that's the thing, is this guy at this point, November 12th.
It's annoying. It's annoying because I don't want Chris to have any room. I don't want this fucking freak to have any room to come back. And Prism coming out and doing this shit makes it such that, like, he's got so much ammo now. He's got so much firepower. This video is so fucking flawed.
2003. He would have been 14 years old. So this guy is asking you.
So this is what he's saying. He keeps saying, "Oh, Lava said he was born in 2003." Okay, I have that in my notes here. So the tweet where Lava says, actually, this doesn't even belong here. This belongs in another video. This belongs over here. Okay. Where is it? Okay. So he doesn't even reach out to Lava to confirm their age, right? At 1:53, he uses a tweet from Lava. Where are we at? 8:31? Okay. He uses a tweet from Lava. I am 20 now. When do I get to retire? That's pretty damning, right? Except look at the date when this tweet was posted. 2023. And if you look at our notes, these interactions happened in 2018. So the evidence that he's using to show that Lava was underage came out after these interactions have already happened. He's using shit from the future to damn actions in the past, and I don't know if Chris knew that he was underage, because the one piece of evidence that Prism is using to show Lava is underage came after all these fucking interactions. So I have no idea. I have no fucking idea if Chris ever knew this kid's age based on just this, because he doesn't ask Lava GS when his birthday was. He doesn't ask Lava GS what year were you born. He says, "Oh, Lava is 14 at this time because he said I'm 20 now. When do I get to retire? In 2023." That's his evidence for Lava's age. So if that's the evidence for Lava's age, how the fuck would Chris have known his age if Lava never said it? I need Prism at some point in this video to show some evidence that Chris knew how old Lava was. I need that. I need to see it. I need to see that proof.
So this guy is asking you these questions, and you were talking to him when he was super young. How does he know this? I don't know, but it definitely doesn't look good because this is someone that you were talking to. Again, obviously, I just want to say that this is probably the worst part of all this. And well, I mean, other than the fact that he brought a camper van to meet up with you, that's also really bad because you were talking to this guy since he was like 13 years old. I think it's really bad that you were talking to this guy since he was 13 years old and he brought a camper van to meet up with you. That's pretty fucking bad. Oh my god. And
He just brings up this camper van out of nowhere. First mentioned camper van. No screen.
one thing I want to say right here is this is the part that I have a problem with. Is you made this guy a moderator. You made this guy a moderator March 26, 2018. This is past that. At this point, you already have been talking to this guy. You're already friends with this guy. You already know this guy. And what is he? What are you saying here? So you post something that says, "Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my god."
Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my god, one more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes. Meme Master Chris is creating memes. Get 100 reward, $2 of $3 a month. Two of $3 per month. I want to see if someone is dumb enough to give.
One more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes. And of course, this is some poorly made joke. I've seen these kinds of jokes online before where it says, "Oh, if this post gets 1 like, I'll kill myself," and then the person likes it. It's, you know, this kind of joke. It says a goal of $3. I want to see if anyone's dumb enough to give me money. But of course, it's only you and this other guy in this Twitter thread. And this is the part I have a problem with. This isn't a group chat. This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. He says, Lava says, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy."
Ugh. Very weird for a 16-year-old to be saying this to someone. But again, I don't know if Chris knew that he was 16.
Now keep in mind, Chris Tyson, he was born July 1996, so he would have been 22 years old at the time, or around that age. And you have this guy who was born in November 12, 2003, he would have been 14. And of course, here he is, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy," which he's calling him big boy. And he shows that he donated some money, he donated like $1 or something, so it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, "But not $5, pathetic, just kidding, kissy."
57. $5. Pathetic. Hey. Kissy fingers. May 9th. 2018. Okay. May.
Face. Yeah, this is the part that I have a problem with, and I'm gonna say this, but if you know this guy is that young and you've been talking to him one-on-one online, you've been socializing with him and making friends, what is this comment supposed to mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're telling him that he needs to donate $5 so you can release your nudes or whatever, and you sent him a kissy face. Now, granted, you could say that this is a joke or whatever, this is bro talk, but keep in mind, this is with someone who's 14, and this is someone who's
Do you have any evidence that Chris knew he was 14?
in college talking to like someone that isn't even in high school yet, really, or if he was in high school, he just joined it. Oh boy. Because what I'm seeing here is he says, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in, winky face. So you're sending kissy faces, he's sending you a winky face, and the premise is you're trying to give him enough money so you can get his nudes. Already really weird, considering the fact that this is one of your online friends and this massive age difference. And of course, it continues. He says, check again, and he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, I posted some fire nudes for you, please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14. And this is someone that you're talking
Same day, May 9th. 18.
please no share. And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old, that you know is 14, and at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics like this with someone that is this young. Even if it's in this joking context, I'm not really sure what the joke is here.
It's 100% hard to prove, right? It's super hard to prove what somebody knew at some point in time, which is why you probably shouldn't make a claim if you don't know that they know that. That's why I would tell Prism you should back off. You should back off of this one bit, because the last video showed Chris actively engaging with Shadman and wanting more Shadman art, like actively wanting more art that depicted children being like I can't use the word rock starred. That's amazing. That's great evidence. That's perfect. That's exactly what you need. Why the fuck would you spoil that with these allegations that you can't substantiate? Why would you claim Chris knew his age and then you have no fucking evidence to prove it? It's ridiculous. And when you go, like when we look through all these screenshots, right? When we look through all these screenshots we've taken, none of these are talking about Chris talking to a child, or none of these are talking about Chris engaging with Shadman art. These are all talking about Chris talking with a 13 to 14-year-old. He never, in any of these fucking screenshots or these tweets that we ran through, none of them he points out or harps on the fact that Chris was buying Shadman art. He's telling everyone that he can possibly get to, oh, Chris was talking to a 13 to 14-year-old. But he has no proof that Chris knew that he was 13 or 14. That's why I'm getting so fucking angry, because he's literally pushing the weakest of his points. The weakest point against Chris is this one. It's the one he ended up getting the most in trouble for. Interestingly enough, it's the one he got in the most trouble for. But I haven't seen any evidence that Chris knew his age. Did Prism reply to your tweets yet? No, not yet. I actually don't think he will. I think he's a bit of a coward. I think he knows he fucked up on that mark.
But this is someone, keep in mind, you're bisexual, okay? You're talking to
Oh god, he keeps bringing up this guy's bisexuality. Jesus. If you're trying to hit Chris and you're trying to hit the people that watch Chris, it's probably not a good idea to keep bringing up his sexuality, because you're gonna turn off all their brains the moment you keep going, you're bisexual and you're talking to little boys. Not a good look. Immediately their brains are gonna shut off. Even if he's right, their brains are gonna shut off immediately, because they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's a this guy's a bigot, this guy's a homophobe, this guy's a transphobe, we're going to ignore him. And then the people who need to hear this message the most are the ones that aren't going to hear it at all because you're being stupid.
A guy that is 14 and you're in college, and the premise here is you guys are joking with each other about sending nudes. That's illegal. You can't do that. And let me just say it like this: it doesn't matter if you're joking or not. Solicitation is solicitation. There should be zero discussion about anybody sending anyone who's 14.
Solicitation, he wasn't telling Lava to send him nudes. He was making a meme about posting nudes for Lava. By the way, this guy, okay, Prism is willing to put all of Shadman's art on his videos, barely cropped and barely blurred. Like, I thought about shutting off his video because he showed it so much. He's willing to post that on his videos, but he's not willing to post evidence that Chris was sending nudes to Lava. I think it's because he doesn't have it. I think it's because this may have actually just been a meme. I don't know. I don't know if Chris actually has nudes on his Patreon. I'm not going to go look. I'm not paying for that. If anyone else has it, if anyone else was a part of Chris's Patreon and has that information, let me know. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think there were any nudes ever out of Chris at any point in time. So this, to me, reads like a meme. But that's my take, and my take is based on the same amount of evidence that Prism has, which is little to nothing. On his Patreon, he just had memes, it looked like. From what Prism has showed us, what did Prism show? Prism showed the fucked up borderline child prawn from Shadman that he had hand drawn. He had put that on his video and barely blurred it out. And I was like this close to just shutting off that video because he kept showing it. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to get age restricted. I'm going to get, like, my whole channel is going to get annihilated from orbit because he keeps showing these fucking images. My point is that he's willing to show that fucked up stuff, but he's not willing to show any evidence that Chris may have sent nudes to Lava. Because I don't think he has it. I think he's just saying this shit. He's like making it seem like Chris is either sending or asking for nudes from Lava with literally no evidence. I might.
Nudes of any kind. Okay, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if you sent this guy nudes or not. For all I know, this very well could be a joke.
Nice. Thank you for admitting it. Thank you for admitting it. Fucking. Nice. Thank you, Prism. Thank you for fucking admitting it. We're just gonna play that again, just because I really want to. I really want to hear that again.
What you were, okay? I don't know. I'm not quite sure if you sent this guy nudes or not. For all I know, this very well could be a joke. What you.
I'm not sure if you sent this guy nudes or not. Thank you, Prism. So then why the fuck did you bring it up? Why? Ed, why would you bring it up then, you fucking idiot?
You were talking inappropriately to a guy who is 14 years old and to a guy who you know is 14 years old, and that's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with here is the way that you're talking to him. The fact
Wait, what was that? What did you just say?
to a guy who is 14 years old and to a guy who you know is 14 years old.
There you go. 1350. To I know. I cannot wait for him to substantiate that. That's the first that I don't know if he said it earlier in this video, but I love that he said that. I love that he said that to a guy you know is 14 years. it's gonna be the biggest own of all time if he gets to that fucking meetup, and that meetup happens before
And
2018.
that's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with here is the way that you're talking to him, the fact that he's asking you about animated pornography, and this is one of your friends with online, which, by the way, you shouldn't even be friends with a middle schooler to begin with because you're in college. You should be going to a bar and trying to meet people or talk to people that are your own age, not to middle schoolers. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? That's weird. And right here, look at this. He says, lol, I just saw, hold up, I got you, dad. So again, this guy who's 14 is calling him big boy. Chris is calling him dad. They're sending kissy faces, they're sending winky faces, and the premise is he's sending nudes, basically. And he's telling him to donate more so he can send him nudes, and then he said he sent him nudes. I don't care if you're going to say that this is
Bro, he paid more so that he would send nudes, and then you sent him nudes. How can you say that? Do you know that? Do you know that as a matter of fact? Do you have any evidence of Lava saying that? What the fuck are you talking about? We just saw what he saw, and it was Chris saying, I posted some fire nudes for you, please no share. And then that's the end of it. A comment that can be read as a meme, that's your evidence that this occurred. Fuck me.
a joke. This dude's 14 years old and you're in college. You shouldn't even be talking to this guy in the first place. It's sick. I mean it's disgusting. It's not okay. It's not okay. I know Jimmy might come out to defend this kind of behavior. Like, maybe you guys joke about sending nudes to 14-year-olds often. I don't know if you guys do that. I don't know if you guys joke about sending nudes to 14-year-olds often, but that happened, and it's right here, and it's still up online. And I gotta say, this is some really messed up stuff. You should not be talking to a 14-year-old this way under any context. You shouldn't be saying it in a joking manner. You shouldn't be saying it in any kind of manner, because this is someone that you talk to one-on-one. You shouldn't even be talking to a middle schooler one-on-one. It's freaking weird. And of course, you have other stuff right here. This is a bad way to hide your hentai. I don't know, like, what exactly were you discussing with this guy?
Jeez, I love that the fucking screenshot's up for like 0.2 seconds.
What exactly were you discussing with this guy, man? Why is he asking you about hentai so much? Why is he talking about hentai with you? Again, super young. Oh my god. Love how I set up that embed, shows you looking sexy. I don't really think
November 2019. November 11th. This is a year later. After these last screenshots he was.
he should be calling you sexy, but I get it. He's trying to say it makes you look good. Chris, will you be my...
I love how I said that embed. What the fuck does embed mean? Is he like doing graphical work for them? If he's doing work for them, would it not be a fair assumption that they think he's an adult if they're paying him for work or something? I don't know what embed means. I don't know. We'll come back to that later. 16, 17. Will you Chris?
Valentine. Thank you, Dad! Exclamation point, heart. Thanks, Lava. Love you.
I don't even know what that was in reference to. These are like totally different posts. So this one is from 1619. Thank you, Dad. Nation bar art. December 25th, 2019. Okay. Then at what?
Exclamation point, heart. Thanks, Lava.
Then at 1623, he shows another one Thanks. Love you. I don't know if he's showing these back to back to show inappropriate conversations between them, or if he's trying to frame this as if they're responding to one another. But literally in these screenshots, he's showing that not only are these not on the same day, not only are these not in the same month, not only are these not within the same like time period, not within the same like hour range, these are not even in the same year. This is a year apart. These two fucking responses are a year apart, and then both the posts are deleted. So I don't even know what they're responding to one another.
Love you. And just in case you wanted more proof of this guy talking to him on Discord, here you go. February 7th, 2019. And of course he's saying
Chris bullies me. Practice with this at Chris the meme god. Chris the meme god. Lava's mom tomorrow. Can't do this anymore. You see a kid doing a fork. So he's saying that he's gonna nut on his mom's face or something. I don't even have. Oh, there we go. There's a timestamp. 16:36. Chris. June 24th, 2019. Chris makes joke nutting on Lava's mom's face.
Lava's mom tomorrow, and boom. How old would you have been there? Yeah, you would have been 15 at that time. He even says, January 13th, 2019, my friend
Lava is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. What? 16:47. My friend at Lava PS underscore live on Twitch. Go spam lobster. January 13th, 19. I don't understand. How does this prove that he knows that he was a kid?
GS is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. Okay, this one here, this one's clearly an edgy meme. It says, objectively, the
Wait,
easiest
what
way
was
to
the
spam
point of
lobster
that?
in the chat. You would have been 15 at that time. He even says, January 13th, 2019, my friend Lava GS is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. Okay, this one here.
What the fuck? Hold on. What the hell is he trying to say there?
And of course, he's saying Lava's mom tomorrow, and boom. How old would you have been there? Yeah, you would have been 15 at that time. He even says, January 13th, 2019.
How old would he have been there? Yeah, 15. He even says, my friend at Lava G is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat. What does this prove? How does this prove that he knows his age? He's just saying go spam lobster in the chat. Does spam lobster in the chat mean that like Lava is a kid or something?
My friend Lava GS
What
is live
the
on Twitch.
fuck?
Go spam lobster in the chat. Okay, this one here.
I don't understand why he played that screenshot right after this.
This one's clearly an edgy meme. It says, objectively, the easiest way to
March 4th, 2017. From Chris. This is just a random fucking meme. Random edgy meme. March. Objectively easiest into Rockstar to start. 4chan meme image posted by Chris and
prevent a rape is to start consenting. That's, yeah, just that one's an joke. You have right here this server that he made. There's Chris in the server, and it turns out that Jimmy's in the same server as this guy. I don't know when Jimmy started talking to this guy. I know that he was mainly Chris Tyson's friend. He wasn't really Jimmy's friend, but still, he was also DMing him at one point. But I don't think Jimmy was really this guy's friend. So, and here we're gonna get to the part where he was meeting up with him in person. we're going to talk about that. So, again, I have no idea if anything happened to this guy physically. I can only show that they're talking about inappropriate topics with each other. I can show that there is a vast age difference, that he should not have been socializing with this guy in the first place, but he did, and the fact that he was able, like the moment he was able to meet up with him, he met up with him in person, which I think is highly inappropriate since he was talking to this guy since he was 13, and he's also attracted to men, and the guy's a guy. It's highly inappropriate. The circumstances he showed up in is inappropriate. Here we go. So this one's in Carl's server. Right here. It's a Discord messaging. Discord messaging. He said, "I love Carl though. I drove from West Virginia to North Carolina.
Drove from West Virginia to North Carolina. I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. Yes, Gracie. At Lava, really? Yes. I drove from West Virginia to North Carolina. I'm saying at Lava Fancy. I sold him the camper. At Lava, dang. I'd send a pic, but I don't have pic perm. 1831. Conversation out camper takes place. 7:26.
I'm sitting in a camper in the woods right now. I love Carl though. So Carl is amazing, and that is a fact. True.
Carl is amazing, and that is a fact. 7:29.
He hugged me
2020.
before Christmas.
True, he hugged me before Christmas too.
Carl's
2020. Carl sleep.
I'm just friends with Carl. I don't need mod. His
I'm just friends with Carl. I don't need.
mod team is already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina?
Carl sims for me. Why doesn't I deleted user? Who doesn't sim for Carl? Bahaha. I deleted user. I think we all sim for Carl. At Lava. I know, right? Teehee. Offering to buy me ice cream if I do stuff for him. This is from Jedi. At Jedi, why do you want to come to China? Stuff for him and money.
Because Winky Face.
At Jedi, why do you want to come to China? Because you're Jedi. It's works with Lava.
Face. Don't need mod. His mod team is already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? Because Winky Face.
So this other person says that Jedi user Jedi forts with Lava. Forts with Lava. Probably seems Jedi doesn't to be Chris is
Winky friends with Carl. I don't need mod. His mod team is already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina?
Is Carl Chris? Who the fuck is Carl? Why do they keep talking about Carl? Is Jedi Chris? Who is Carl? Who is Carl? Users compliment. Talk about Carl and user Jet flirts Lava. Probably.
Because Winky Face. Carl sips for me.
Take me away from New York to North Carolina. That's why at Jedi, hello. At Jedi for Supreme Leader. New York seems sweet. You can sell me Stacy, by the way. You can call me Stacy, by the way. 2020, Carl sims for me. Jedi appears to be some sort of moderator.
Who doesn't simp for Carl? I think we all simp for Carl. I know, right, Teehee? Offering to buy me ice cream if I do stuff for him. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? And money. Sneak me away from New York to North Carolina, that's why. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? Boy Jedi, why do you want to hide in my suitcase? Sneak me away from New York to North Carolina, that's why. Who's older, Lava or Boy Jedi? You're both 16.
Wait, who's older, Lava or Boy Jedi? You're both 16, right? I'm 16. There it is. Okay. 1932. First confirmation. First first confirmation in DMs that Ava Kid admits 07-26-2020. He is 16. Not sure if Chris is in. Chris might be sure.
16, right? I'm 16. Jedi 16. Carl reading all the same thing, like.
So Jedi is also 16. Jedi is said to be 16 by so well, not sorry. Jedi is not Chris. Question mark. 1932. Is there evidence?
Both 16, right? I'm 16. Jedi 16. Carl reading all the same thing, like. At Carl, see you Tuesday, baby girl. I'm in a camper on a hot.
It means Carl was reading everything y'all said. Lol, imagine being in the woods. Chat did a Carl sent Candy Craft, the server ice strips, and Jurtsu are on. Oxen. So does everyone.
Hotspot. Imagine being in the woods. Imagine simping over Carl. And of course, here is the Steam account of Chris Tyson. It is estrogen.
Shows Carl's account for some reason. Or shows Chris's account.
Dealer. And of course, here is the Steam account of Chris Tyson. It is estrogen dealer. And they are both friends with each other, Lava GS and Chris
Lava GS. Oh, nice. Thank you for. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, Lava. Jesus Christ.
Tyson.
Fuck.
As you can see here,
Fucking dox himself. Nice. Thank you, Prism, for putting that in there, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
the games that they played, it matches up with the.
Oh, look, there's the Uno. There's the Uno I was talking about.
The tweets that they made. Tyson, and as you can see here, the games that they played, it matches up with the tweets.
Was legit with me when we found the body and everyone put me out. I was innocent. 2020.
Tweets that they made. And as you can see, Mangled Pickle is also on there. It matches up with the tweets that they made. Now this one, again, he's going to have to explain this. So this guy is super young, right? He's been talking to him since he was super young, 13 years old. So why is it that not only are you DMing this guy on Twitter,
Chris 2039. Chris. Chris. Is that our earliest interaction? No, not right. Our earliest interaction is in February. First contact was with Mr. Beast.
you're Snapchatting this guy, you're talking one-on-one. So why is it that not only are you DMing this guy on Twitter, you're Snapchatting
I get a weird snap from Chris. It's 2019.
this guy, you're talking one-on-one in a voice chat with this guy, but the kind of Snapchats that you're sending, this is
2020.
the Snapchat that you sent. He said, I get a weird snap from Chris, and it's a picture of him making a weird face next to an American flag, and it says, coming for America. Now, you might think that, oh man, this must be some weird 4th of July joke. Nope, it's not 4th of July. You can clearly see the date right there. This guy would have been like 15 at this point. And why are you sending a 15-year-old a message saying coming for America? Why are you DMing a 15-year-old anyways on Snapchat? Why are you doing that? Why are you DMing this guy you've been talking to since he was 13 on Snapchat? Oh my god, he said he's a different man.
How do you
That's
know?
all I can say. Of course, just to show how much that he likes this guy, Chris Tyson, he said, they're talking about profile pictures. He said he put his profile
Conversation in 2018. I need to pee. I do need to pee. I feel like I work better when I have to pee. Tell me why at Lava and at Thick Dylan have the same profile pic. We don't know. Prove it. Mine's Chris from Mr. Beast. I don't know who Dylan's is. Probably Chris from Mr. Beast.
profile picture
Mine's
as Chris Tyson from Mr. Beast. And here's another Twitter message. Or sorry, here's another
I don't know what the importance of that one was. Chris DM me on Twitter.
Discord message. He said, Chris DM'd me on Twitter asking me to come help him on Beast's stream. And
We
here's
went
another
over
one.
that already.
And here's a screenshot of Chris Tyson talking to this guy. This ain't true. And this screenshot is Chris Tyson talking one-on-one with him. And at this point, he would have been 16. And here we go. Here's the picture of them meeting up together. I'm gonna censor his face. And here we go. Here's the picture of them meeting up together.
You get rid. Thank God this is small. To heat up on July. Okay, we finally have a date.
This guy since he was 13.
Okay, July 28th, 2020. We have confirmed that they meet in person and maybe, most likely, point Chris would have known Abba's age.
Chris Tyson was in college.
I need to privately message Prism somehow.
Up together. I'm talking to this guy since he was Tyson was in college, and of course, the moment he was able to drive, he takes a camper van out in the middle of the woods, which by the way, very secluded area. Let me talk about that. Anytime that someone is taking a camper van somewhere, bringing it out in the desert or the middle of the woods, it's very unnecessary because there's RV parks, there's the Walmart parking lot, there's plenty of areas you can go instead of going to a place that's very unfamiliar to you to camp out there, especially in a secluded area. So the real question is, if he was talking to Chris Tyson, who is interested in both men and women since he was 13 years old, and Chris Tyson was in college, why did he take a camper van out to see him and take it out in the middle of the woods in this secluded area? And then he met up with him like 2 days later, like the picture was posted. It's why did this happen? When you're talking about an inappropriate topic with someone who you know is 14 years old and you meet up in person, it all looks very suspicious. And that is why when we interviewed him, we were trying to ask if he had been molested or if someone had talked to him appropriately to him because we genuinely believe that something might have happened to him. Although he claims nothing happened, very well, there might have been nothing that ever happened, but still,
Love how he skims over that.
talking about inappropriate topics with someone that you know is a middle schooler or someone that just entered in high school when you're like 7 years older, it is highly inappropriate and that is illegal. That's not legal. It's not a legal thing to do. This whole discussion or joke revolving around sending him nudes or whatever, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You should have never participated in that. You shouldn't even be talking to this guy. I think that's something that everyone can agree on, that you shouldn't be talking to middle schoolers when you're in college, but I guess you don't seem to think that because you did that. One thing I want to mention is how I know that when he was in high school is he put it on his LinkedIn account. He said that he entered into high school. How I know that when he was in high school is he put it on his LinkedIn account. He said
Jesus.
that he entered into high school in August of 2018 and graduated on May 2022. And of course, to end this, I want to say this is a clip of where it's him on stream. He's being a moderator, and I guess he messes with them on his stream as he plays a clip of PewDiePie saying he plays a clip and makes him think he's going to play a clip of him saying the N-word, but
I can't even post his comment. I can't even post. Fuck. I can't even. I can't point out what it is that he. I can't point out what it is that he left in the video because if I do, then everyone else can go look for it. I literally can't message anyone that can get it out to this guy. I literally, I fuck me.
know, it was a gotcha moment. So yeah, I mean, it's not much, but I think that's it. That's everything. It's everything I want to cover. If there's something I forgot, I can talk about it later. I'm just going to give an official statement about this. This is my statement to him. I'm going to talk to you directly. I'm going to say that again. This is not. I do not have any ill will towards you. I'm sorry if any of this has offended you in some way. This is out of genuine concern because these things are not normal, and there's nothing wrong with being abnormal, but this is a bad kind of abnormal. And me and Verdius are genuinely concerned if something happened. So if something happened, we're always free to talk. And you know, I do think that if something happened, you know, you should say something. But you're claiming that nothing happened, so something very well might have not happened. But the fact that someone is in college, socializing and making friends with a middle schooler is highly inappropriate, especially because he's also bisexual and he's attracted to men as well. And I want to say that, you know, this whole bro talk thing here, where you guys are commenting about like the Patreon thing, and him releasing nudes and him sending nudes to you while you were 14 and while he was like 22, 23, that is just, yeah, I think he was 22, but that is highly inappropriate. That should never happen. You shouldn't be talking with someone that young to begin with. And I'm sorry if your feelings were hurt in any way, shape, or form. I want you to know that I don't have any ill intention here against you. And at the end of the day, the only reason I did any of this and was trying to get this information out is because of genuine concern. And I want you to know that, you know, I'm trying to keep your identity. I'm trying to, what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to bring up any, I don't know if you have any sort of trauma with this. I don't know, I know you're just fine. I know you might want to just say that he didn't do anything wrong, that there's nothing weird about him. You can go ahead and make these statements, but I'm just saying I'm showing what I can prove. And what I can prove is that he has all these interactions with all these inappropriate pedophilic art stuff, and the way he was talking to you was not appropriate in the slightest when it came to this. And he knew how old you were. And I'm just saying, I'm genuinely concerned about the situation. I'm not trying to make some sort of, I'm not trying to get views off of this. I'm not trying to go, oh man, this is my big hit. I'm not trying to grift. I'm genuinely concerned. That is why that's why we were talking to you. I'm not trying to make some sort of, I'm not trying to get views off of this. I'm not trying to go,
Christ.
oh man, this is my big hit. I'm not trying to grift. I'm genuinely concerned. That is why that's why we were talking to you, because we wanted to know if something happened to you.
Right.
And again, if nothing happened to you, then then nothing happened to you. But again, we don't know. We don't know, because at the end of the day, these are very powerful people. Mr. Beast is like what, worth 500 million or something? That's his net worth. And Chris Tyson is a part of that. He's been a part of that for a very long time. The Mr. Beast brand, and I can understand if it's been very intimidating if something ever did happen. I understand I look like the asshole, but I want to say that it was never my intention to come across that way, and that I was put in this awkward situation where what else could I have done? Like I'm only just trying to do what I believe is right. I believe I'm justified in doing this. Again, if you want to talk about this with me, I'm free to talk to you about this. I think everything, you were genuinely a very nice person. You didn't do anything wrong. You were completely innocent in all of this. And I think it's terrible, the fact that I have to mention you, because I don't want any sort of bad publicity on your way, because you don't deserve this. You don't deserve this. You didn't do anything wrong. And that's the part that concerns not only me, but also Verdius, because he doesn't want to talk about you at all. I'm going to say this. Verdius does not want to talk about you at all, because he doesn't want to bring up someone that isn't, that is going to be very upset by this. He doesn't want to upset you. And because we don't know we don't know what happened to you. And you guys met under very suspicious circumstances, everything leading up to it, the fact that he has all these social media communication that you really shouldn't be with someone so young, and the fact that you were talking about this inappropriate topic with each other, that is why we had very great concern. And I want you to know that it's not like we were trying to be bad guys here. We were trying to do the opposite and try to see if something really did happen, and it's only out of concern. And I just want to say that I'm sorry if this has hurt you in any way, shape, or form. We don't want anything to happen, That's the thing is, of course, you're free if you disagree with any of the statements I've made about, like, his interest in this artwork, or if you disagree with anything that I've covered involving you, You are free to talk to me about it. Yeah, closing remark. I never wanted to be put in this position. I never wanted to cover. It's like I never wanted to be put in this awkward position. But as you can see from my viewpoint, my circumstances, and everything, like I had to do what I know is right, and that is what is right. Is this person is in the children's entertainment industry? They're kissing their son on the lips. They're into this weird pedophilic art. Obviously, that makes me and everyone else I've shown very concerned. And of course, there's people that I know that think I did the right thing by contacting you and trying to see if something happened. So I'm sorry if there were any buttons ever pushed. I mean this with full sincerity. I did not mean any ill will or harm. And that is my statement to you, Lava. Chris Tyson, if you, and this is my message to Chris Tyson, if you disagree with anything that I have brought up, that I have substantiated with evidence, you are free to contact me and we can go on something and debate each other, because I'm always free for an open debate, because I believe these things that I have substantiated are true. And if you think that I am misunderstood and that I misunderstood these things, you are free to debate them and talk to me about them. But the evidence that I've gathered is very strong, very concrete, and very solid. And I really don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think you're going to change my mind on this. But I'm open to reason. And if you want to talk about this, we can talk about this. Because I'm not going to run and hide. I'm going to be out in the open. So if you want to talk to me about this and say that I got something wrong, you are free to have me on whatever live stream or debate there is, and you can talk to me about this. And we can bring up all the nitty-gritty details. But, you know, the evidence is really strong. So I don't think there's really a good argument or explanation for any of this. Because at the end of the day, when I first was looking into Lava, I thought, this guy, I'm like, no. I was like, no, this guy is not like a random guy. I was like, he's got to be a family friend. But then I saw the Twitch page, and this guy's just a random guy. You didn't know this guy. You just talked to a middle schooler and made friends with him, because I guess he liked Mr. Beast or whatever, but it's highly inappropriate to do that. That should not happen. Closing remarks. If you had a problem with anything I said, you're free to debate me on it. This is my message to Jimmy from Mr. Beast. I'm going to be honest. I honestly don't really care about you that much, because you're not really too involved with this. I mean, yeah, you oversee Chris Tyson, but, yeah, I mean, it's just like, you're not really that involved, other than the fact that you might have some association with the pedophile stuff. I don't know, you're just in the same frame as that poster, but so were a lot of other people. So again, I know some people on the Discord said that you like Shannon. Take it with a grain of salt, though. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know, from what I can tell, you were roped into it from Chris Tyson's what it looks like, because the only time you've ever interacted with Shadman was when you're commenting on a comment from Chris Tyson. So it seems to me that you weren't really too interested in this guy. So you're only there because of Chris, is what it seems like. And like I said, I do think it's inappropriate that you had someone that says that they're the opposite gender near kids, because I don't think kids should be exposed to that sort of thing. And I know you work around kids. You're at the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards. You brought them there, which in my opinion, I think that was really disgusting. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not a fan of your content. And I'm not saying your content's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, me personally, like, I'm just not too interested in it. And again, I think you do great work. You do amazing work when it comes to charity. I think what you did when you cured a bunch of people from blindness, you and your organization and your group of people, I think that was a really good thing that you did. And I want to say that, you know, when you find out this information, I'm going to assume that you didn't know anything about this. But when you find out, if you still, like, just don't really do, you know, if there's no response or no anything, and you're just perfectly okay with that, I don't even know what to think about that at that point, because I don't think you're okay with this, especially because you work around kids, you work in the children's entertainment industry, and I just want to say that, you know, and I understand that you have a lot more experience than I do when it comes to management, but if I were in that position, I would not have that guy around kids. I would set him up with another job, because I know you do this, and set him up with another job somewhere that is not in the vicinity of kids, and just have him do some other line of work, because people need to eat at the end of the day. He still needs to earn a living, even though all this creepy, weird stuff.
Bro, dude is just yapping now.
About that inappropriate topic with this guy. At the end of the day, you really can't have that guy near kids, in my opinion. After everything I've seen, it's terrible, and I just want to be through with this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I've been talking about this for a year, and I have my life to live. There's things I want to do, and frankly, you know, you guys were never a part of that equation until I was just bestowed the task to just get this out. And again, I don't have anything against you, Jimmy. I think the work that I see you do.
Bro, a task that you put on yourself, because you're such a psycho. You couldn't convince anyone else to do it.
You seem to be okay with having someone that says they're the opposite gender in your kids. I don't think that that's a good thing, but again, that's like one thing. It's just one thing that we disagree on. That's it. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't have anything against you, Jimmy. I don't have anything against anything that you guys do. It's just this situation I've been thrown into. It's been very awkward. It's been very hard on me, and I don't want, like, I've been put in this very awkward position, and I did things I don't want to have to do, but I did them because I felt I had to do them, and that was the right thing to do. And I understand that it doesn't make me look good. It's bad for my reputation, but again, I guess I was pushed by some kind of guilty conscience or something. I don't know, but it's just crazy. I guess that's my message to you. I don't know you personally, and I'm not really trying to look forward to get to know you at all. Like, that was never my intention. And I understand that, like, you definitely aren't going to like me because of this whole thing, but again, I never expected to speak with you in my life, and I don't expect to get to know you. I do think what you do is great, but what I want to do in life and what you want to do, we're just two separate people. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I understand there's a lot of people on the platform that want to, like, meet you or get to know you, but I'm just not interested in that sort of thing. And this whole experience has been a journey, and I understand that it may harm your reputation, but I still feel as if it's necessary to get this out about everything regarding that.
Bro, what the fuck are you
and
talking about?
I'm sorry if this hurt your reputation. I did not intend on you know, it's just something that I had to release. And, you know, at the end of the
I think bro expected this video to have like millions and millions and millions of. That's what this fucking final message is. Like, to Lava, to Chris, to Mr. Beast, like this whole ramble about how, like, well, I'm sorry if this hurt you. Bro, this didn't affect Mr. Beast at all. This didn't do shit, homie. Nobody fucking knew your video existed.
Okay, I'm sorry if anything that I'm releasing hurts you, if you are not responsible for any of it. But at the end of the day, how could you have not known any of this was going on? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't know any of this was going on. But keep doing great work. Keep doing the charity stuff. That's all good. But I don't have anything against you. But like I said, everything that's happened is just, it was not a pleasant experience. I guess that's all I want to say. Is I know you personally don't have much to do with it, other than just keeping this guy on. But yeah, I don't know. It's just terrible. But yeah, like I said, I guess I'll say the same thing I said to
He
Chris,
sighs like
Otto,
Chris
whatever you wanna
Chan.
call him. Yeah, you're free to debate me if you think that I made a mistake, or if I'm misunderstood, or something bad happened. I mean, obviously, I know you're not going to debate me, but I'm just saying that, man, I just want this to be over. I guess what I'm saying is, I have no ill will towards you. I have no hard feelings against you. I just want this. I just need this information to get out. It's been a pain in the ass. And I'm sure you can understand. I'm sure you can understand. So that being said, I think that's going to conclude all the parts and all the messages. I'm sure that there's more stuff I haven't covered just because so much has happened. I tried my best to cover everything I had. I just tried to be genuine and sincere and honest. I can't talk about every single thing because, like I said, there are contracts, there's police investigations, and no, it's not against Chris Tyson. Let me just throw that out there. It's not against Chris Tyson. That being said, I'm just glad I can finally get this over with. It's been weighing on me a long time.
Okay, finally, that was it. Okay, only evidence of Chris having known Jesus weird versions. Meet up camper. Never clarify. Never clarified. Second video. Constant harping. New heat. Low score. Okay. Concretely, what I have in front of me is on 7/27/2022, we have a message from Long saying that he's 16. I originally thought that Jedi was Chris, but that appears to not be the case. It appears that Jedi is another 16-year-old. So I don't even know if Chris is in this Discord server that Lava is admitting he's 16 in. I don't know if Chris ever saw that message. And that took place on 7/27/2020. That would have been what? January, February, March. It would have been July 26th. Holy shit, that was 4 years ago today that message went out. Crazy. And then when was the meetup? Where is this? July 28th. So 2 days after we get a message confirmation of Lava being 16, they meet. I don't know if Chris knew prior to that meetup or prior to that message how old Lava was. Prism in this whole video does not show that Chris knew how old Lava. I don't know what the deal is with this other 14-year-old. I haven't looked into it at all. Prism hasn't covered it. Thank God. Based on what I've seen here, Prism's video not only does not deserve to be rejoiced, this video needs to be taken down. 100%. He makes a lot of claims in this video that he can't substantiate whatsoever. And then on top of that, he does some shit in this video that I can't really say aloud because then I'd be furthering what he did in the video. I think this video needs a lot of editing and a lot of revising to make this video acceptable for YouTube again. Something. I think out of this 3-part series, parts 3 and 1 are dog shit and should have been left on the cutting room floor. Part 2 was the most damning of criticism. And it sucks that Prism spent so much time being in all these people's communities pushing part 3, which is like legitimately the worst of them. Well, second worst. The reaction to his conversation. Why would you react to your own conversation with? Guess we'll add this to the list. Man, I gotta take a break because this shit's a headache. Definitely expect a video soon. God, we're about to do reactionception.
Hello, everybody. Hey,
I wonder if he links the original conversation. Nope, he doesn't. Thanks.
I haven't really uploaded in over a week, and I'm actually glad I got this whole OBS thing to work, so I can actually film videos like this now, so that's pretty neat. So the whole thing is a girl, she doesn't want me to name her who she is, but she reached out to me, and she's involved with the whole thing, like the whole Gideon and EDP thing, and she was concerned with EDP assisting me with getting out this information. So I reached out to Gideon, spoke with him, and I'm just going to go over the live stream and clear up any sort of inaccuracies I might have said, or I guess like I want to like document the live stream, but I don't want to just rip off his stream, so I'm going to include, I guess this is a reaction, and I'll put some commentary as well. And for those of you that didn't know, I spoke to Gideon on his live stream, and yeah, here we go. We'll watch that. See how this goes.
What's
Hello,
good?
Gideon.
Prism? How you say your name, man?
You can just say it like priapism, and if anything, I would like to just confess my sins, if that's all right. It's not-
I feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's not the sins that I have not committed already, but the sins I will commit. And I just want people to understand my side, my perspective of why I feel like I have to do the things I have to do. And I know people in here aren't going to believe me, but I will literally swear on a Bible and the Constitution. I'm not lying about any of the stuff I'm saying. I'm 100. Yeah, so what I gotta say right there is yes, I will swear on the Bible and Constitution that I'm not lying about accusations I am making. Like this, there's something going on where there's a crime that's been committed. I will actually swear on the Bible and the Constitution. I am actually serious about that. So I was spot
I
on.
don't think you're lying. I just think you're huffing your own farts so fucking hard you don't understand that. Like, you don't actually have anything.
Right there. Let's continue. 100% serious, and I know this will shock you, but can you trust me?
You want to confess something that you're about
Yes.
to do?
Yeah. It's not
Is
legal.
it
It's legal. It's legal. It's legal.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you can hit me up at DM if it wasn't legal, bro. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's legal. It's legal. It's legal. I
Okay.
can go on video. At the end. I'm not. Look at the chat. Trolling. I'm not lying.
Look at the chat. Guys, this person is weird.
I'm not doing any of that. I'm 100% serious. A lot of people out there thought I was trolling, but
we
so-
believe that whatever you're saying, you truly believe
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So I know this is gonna sound hard, but I can prove all the stuff I'm saying. So I mean, my life, there'd be a lot to go over, like how I ended up in this moment. But for 7 or 8 months, I've been trying to get out information because I've learned that there's this person, this content figure, who has committed a crime against a child and is into kids, and it's not EDP. But I'll get into that. I'll get into it.
So you're talking about a predator?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I don't know if he's physically done anything yet, but I can say that he's definitely broken the law. I
Is it
consider
content
him. Yes, or content figure. I should be very specific about that. And because of the fact I reached out to a lot of people, like 40, 50, 60 people. I even reached out to Chris Hansen. He blew me off. And now the only person, and this is gonna sound insane, bro is on to nothing fired. Yeah, you know, I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna read the chat. I'm sorry for pausing the video. I can prove it. The only person not true that has actually agreed to help me is
Wow, he's really offended by that.
the one person that everybody knows is a predator. And that's EDP445. I'm not lying. I can prove it. Look at this reaction.
Agreed to help you?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm actually not thinking about that. Other than like Robert, and I think some other people, there's hardly anyone that actually agreed, but we're talking about like people that agreed to help me get this out. Like Robert, yeah, he's helping me as well. So I mean, I guess I can't say the only person is EDP, but like he's like the only one that could like make a giant impact. You know, other people don't really want to cover it. So and so that's the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because I made a video about this. I hardly ever upload on my channel. I don't really make a whole lot of YouTube videos, but or whatever. Oh shit. Well, it seems like I said the name anyways in the live stream. So sorry, I couldn't leave out your name. I forgot about that. Well, I tried. Oh well.
What?
The name anyways in the hardly ever upload on my channel. I don't really make a whole lot of YouTube videos, but or whatever. Oh shit. Well, it seems like I made a video about this. I hardly ever upload on my channel. I don't really make a whole lot of YouTube videos, but or whatever. Oh shit. Well, it seems like I said the name anyways in the live stream. So sorry, I couldn't leave out your name. I forgot about that. Well, I tried. Oh well. Reached out to me and she
Nice,
was
nice,
I
dummy.
I don't want to have EDP help me get out this information, but he's the only person that has taken me up on this. And now what I have to do at this point is I have to be a thorn in everyone's side because nobody will actually take me up on this because I've reached out to a large number of people. People are afraid to cover this person because they don't want to get canceled. They're afraid to cover this person because of the backlash. Because what kind of friendly fire? I know this might. Oh, jeez, these fucking comments, man. I cannot say who it is. You may have already met this person. Yep, that is true. You might have already met this person.
So, what does this have to do with sin?
Okay, so what this has to do with sin is the stuff I'm going to have to do to try to either bring attention to this or try to get someone else to help me cover it. So that's the part that's going to be the sin. It's like the shit I'm going to do, which, of course, it's legal. It's just not in good taste. You know what I mean? All right, yeah, sorry, I can't really get into that. I'm sure you'll see it like as I do it, but whatever. We'll continue on. Well, because I'm going to be doing some things that, well, will make me the villain or the bad guy. Yeah, I don't have any choice. I figure that, you know, I've been too polite. I've been asking too nicely, and I figure that, hey, and I have maybe if I actually start doing some shit, then, you know, someone out there will eventually want to take me on, or I can just cover the dang thing myself.
Well,
I can't cover it myself.
Listen, my man. You know,
But that's not, like, if you're exposing somebody who's doing something wrong, right?
Yes. And
That's not a sin.
But that's not the part that I'm referring to is the sin. It's the part that the things I will be doing to try to convince other people to cover it or bring attention to it so I can just cover it myself. That's the part that I'm saying is sinful. So, yeah, just clarifying that so everyone knows.
Bro thinks he's a fucking light Yagami. Bro thinks he's light Yagami. And that he's got to do all this fucked up shit to manipulate people in order to get the fucking information out. Only for literally none of it to have worked. And for him to end up having to be the person to bring it out. Which he should have done in the first place, rather than fucking getting EDP445 involved, getting fucking Chris Chan involved, and then trying to get Shadman involved.
A sin would be like something that God says is wrong. It's not a sin to expose wrong.
Is it a sin to threaten other people's livelihoods? Is it a sin to
livelihood or life? Oh no, no. The Bible
is it a sin to
your
false
livelihood.
I'm not lying about it. Yeah, so I mean, you'll just see as it goes on. You'll see what I mean. This person.
Well,
I know,
that's what I would say. That's what I would say, man. Like, because I feel your fire, bro. I really do. Because I feel the same way about predators, man. Like, because, you know, I have nieces and nephews, and it's like I see that could happen to someone in my family. You know what I mean? So I totally get where you're coming from. But if you do it the wrong way,
yeah, I was surprised how fast I don't have any of that stuff linked to the account that I was using when I went on there. So I was surprised that people found that like very fast. They found like all my social media. I was like, oh crap, that was impressive. If anything. Then again, I do have my social media linked to my YouTube, but the fact that they found all that so fast, I have a feeling that some of them recognized me from that video already. That's probably how they found that. Oh, there is.
No, that's not how they fucking found you, you idiot. Jesus Christ. I think they recognized me from the video. Bro, there are no views on the video. They didn't recognize you from the video, you fucking goofball.
Oh, there it is. Alright, here we go. Sorry, here, I'll pause it. I literally traveled halfway across the United States to try to get Chris Chan to fucking cover the shit. And the thing is, I have done so much and spent hundreds of my own dollars to try to get this information out. Yeah, you know, that is actually true, by the way. I did travel like halfway across America to go see Chris Chan, and I have spent hundreds of my own dollars. And I would say that if I had Chris Chan, I would have been sitting pretty because, you know, he was sort of in the spotlight at that time, and he could still be in the spotlight, but that would have been enough to just get the information out. And people can't really hide that then. You can't, you know, once it's out, it's spread far enough. So that actually would have done the trick, but, you know, you can't win all of them, I guess. And the reason being is because I've been very open to all the people in my life. I've talked to my family, talked to even my college professors. Well, I should specify college professor. Like, you know, a college professor, and yes, I have spoken to my family about this, you know. They already know everything, so. And everything that's going on, like, you know, who I'm talking to, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. they have told me is by any means necessary, I need to get out this information. And that's why I'm doing these things that may seem nonsensical. That's why I'm doing these things. I understand it may make feel uncomfortable, but as far as I'm concerned, people that I've already reached out to, content creators, large content creators, some of them just didn't even care. That is actually true. Chris Hansen, no, just blew me off. So
Wait,
Chris
Hansen still does the Hijack the Predator?
So to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure he still does that. It's just he's not with NBC anymore. I don't think he does like with some other group. I don't know. He still does it. I'm pretty sure.
Is this a police matter, brother?
Well, there definitely was a crime committed. I can say that. Yep.
Well, do you know the victim?
I do not personally know the victim.
What the fuck? Bro,
But
do you have contact with the victim?
Yeah, there we go. Yep, there you go. That is me here. Hold on a second. Let me clone the video.
Brother, do you have contact with the victim?
I've tried to contact this person. Yeah, so I do not have contact with this person. I've tried to reach out to them. They won't speak with me, and I've tried to speak with other people that may be close to this person. They won't speak with me either. So,
Wait,
this
this
is
what I would recommend.
There I am.
If the victim won't come forward, it's not your obligation to force them because you're forcing their hand. You know what I mean? I think that's the worst thing to do.
True.
I have 75 slides worth. 75 slides. That's a lot of slides.
That's a lot of slides. So whatever it is, what I would recommend you do is give it to the proper authorities so that they can investigate it. You feel me?
And
Oh my
when
god,
actually
Jadeon
listen to it
based.
And they try to question this guy. He gets a heads up and he deletes everything, or tries to cover it up, or tries to I don't know. Why are they posting Sneeko? Like,
Have the
sorry.
slides. If you have in possession the slides, right, and you give them to the authorities, how can he delete something that you already got a copy of and have given the authorities? He can't.
Okay, so I don't think this guy was getting it. In other words, to prove its authenticity, he would destroy the way to prove that it's authentic, and that I just didn't make it up. And that's the thing that I'm worried about is if this guy gets anywhere to that.
Then
like,
archive it,
exactly
you dumb shit.
they're gonna get rid of that shit. And that's what I'm saying is that I may have the slides and I might have everything saved, but if they get rid of it, how am I gonna prove that it actually exists?
You archive the website on an archiving fucking board or on an archiving fucking website, you
like I'm saying,
dumbass.
Way out of it, and the police, they for whatever reason, whatever technicality or whatever way that he's able to get out of it, then what that means is that the police might know about it, but the actual public would not. And in other words, this person would get away with it.
And just go public with it. Jesus.
Then that's true. What's going to happen here is he's going to delete it before anyone else can see it. And whose word is it going to be? Is it going to be my word against this person's word?
He's gonna delete. I want to make sure I understand because I don't like to weigh in on stuff if I don't fully understand it. I know you can understand that too, right?
Yeah, it's the person. People
So you have slides. You have photo evidence. 75 slides of a predator.
This person. I don't know if it's multiple children, but what I can say is
it don't matter if they're underage. If they're underage, a crime has been committed.
Yeah, so I need to elaborate here. I must have misheard him. There's a lot of audio that was being cut out when I was on. I don't know if he had specific settings. So when it comes to the 75 slides, there is 75 slides, but there's 6 or 7 of them that's actually indicative of the crime. The rest of it is showing how this guy has an interest in kids, basically. So the actual crime is about 6 or 7 slides. Everything else is the other stuff that kind of shows that this guy is into minors, and it was a total of 75 whenever I counted. It was around 75. I think it was a little above or a little below. It's pretty close to 75.
In the eyes of the law, there's no such thing as a willing child.
This person has talked about basically sending nudes to this person who was like, I can't get too deep into it, but they can what I can tell.
It sounds to me though, but prior Pilsum, it sounds to me like you have more than enough compelling evidence to bring this dude down.
Yes, I do have quite a bit of evidence, and I would say that the 6 or 7 slides indicative of a crime would be enough to take him down. But in terms of like a police sort of thing, like when I say taking down, I mean like publicly, like this guy, he'd be finished. But like if we're talking about actual police stuff, I don't know if they can actually pursue the guy, just like how everyone knew that EDP was being a predator, and yet somehow he weaseled his way out of it, not once, but I guess we're still waiting on the second time. You don't even know if it's going to go all the way through. I hope it does. I hope that he ends up in jail, in prison, but I have no way.
Jesus Christ.
But if I talk about the information, what I'm worried about is there are people that monitor this person's reputation. They're going to immediately go to this person, and then they're going to tell them, and then they will delete it because I've already ended up.
Bro, trust me.
But I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that is actually true. There are people that monitor this person's reputation, and they are very fast. Is what I've learned.
How can they delete it if
I've
you
been down a
have
rabbit hole like this before.
Well, that's the thing though, is they can delete it because again, I'd have to prove its authenticity and prove that it's actually real. If I can't do that, then it's just my word against this other person.
Like I've been through this, you know what I mean? When we were doing the whole
I'm trying to
EDP thing, bro, trust me. If you go to the police and give them the information, they're not gonna go directly to the person. They're not gonna give a heads up to his manager or nobody. So you don't have to worry about anybody. Now, what could give them a heads up is you making videos talking about it, you collaborate with other people.
True.
Until I get someone that actually sorry. Yeah, that's the thing is that I would say that yes, they actually could give them a heads up because obviously if you are being charged with some kind of crime, they're going to tell you what they're trying to charge you with. They're going to tell you, and once the guy knows, he's going to, like I said.
Bro, they're literally telling you that when you're oh my god. Fucking Jadeon roasted you on accident. Points at Prism. What's funny is that Jadeon says that. Jadeon says if you make videos on the person, or if you keep making videos alluding to the person, eventually the person's going to find out. Jadeon has no idea how correct he is because this fucking idiot sent a box of quote unquote evidence to Chris's wife. Like, Jesus. If Chris had figured it out then everything this guy is scared of happening about Chris finding out and deleting all the evidence, that would have happened right then and there if she had told Chris. Jadeon doesn't even realize how correct he is because he doesn't understand how like psychotic Prism is.
You know, the police might know about it, and then they might not be able to do anything, but it's the public knowing about it is the difference. All right, I'm going to continue it. Sorry, I thought you were talking. But I'm not going to release it until I can ensure it spreads around enough so this person can't cover it up, because they've already deleted things that I've already saved it, but they have deleted things that definitely would be a red flag to just
would you be down to collaborate with Steve Hansen?
Oh wait, who's that?
I've already saved it, but they have deleted things that definitely would be a red flag to just
would you be down to collaborate with Steve Hansen?
So I have actually been thinking about this. I've been looking at Skeet Hansen. I might actually take Gideon up on his offer, but Skeet Hansen, I know he has contacts with some people that I definitely have already been trying to reach that I think would be the best people. What happened? So what I'm saying is, I have looked into Skeet Hansen, and I'm going to talk with my family and my friends some more about like if I should keep, if I should go the Skeet Hansen route, or if I should have Skeet Hansen reach out to someone who I've already been trying to reach out to. Yeah, because it's also about the best way to do this, because you don't want to take too big of a risk. And yeah, all right, I'll just continue. Like I said, this person, you would not like to find out who this person is. Yeah, it could break your heart. Yeah, it could. You might be afraid to cover this person, and he might be afraid to cover Hansen. I would love that, but at the same time, this would have to be something that would be released on a live stream, because how much they're afraid. I do not want to.
What did he say?
No, that's real. This would have to be something that would be released on a live stream, because how much they're afraid. I do not want to answer any data. No, that's real. Heaven forbid, I don't want anyone to go break your heart. Yeah, it could. You might be afraid to cover this person, and he might be afraid to cover Hansen. You would not like to find out who this person is. Yeah, it could break your heart. Yeah, it could. You might be afraid to cover this person, and he might be afraid to cover.
Jesus. Does he say it might reach Jimmy?
Hansen, I would love. Who would not like to find out who this person is? Yeah, it could break your heart. Yeah, it could. You might be afraid to cover this person, and he might be afraid to cover. Hansen, I would love that, but at the same time, yeah, it could break your heart. Yeah, it could. You might be afraid to cover this person, and he might be afraid to cover. Hansen, I would love that.
Yeah, it might reach him. Okay. I thought you said it might reach Jimmy. I was like, okay, well, you just gave the game away.
That's real. Heaven forbid, I don't want anyone to go to this person and tell them that, hey, this is what you need to get rid of. Do it fast.
All right.
No, you want to expose him with a content creator with a lot of pull on a live stream.
Yes.
A preemptive strike, if you will.
Yes, because this person, I cannot talk about what exactly who this person is, but they have a lot of resources accessible to them, and people are very protective of this person. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I don't get is people are saying like, oh, you're doing this for clout, you're doing this for clout. Have you seen, like, I've hardly uploaded any videos at all. Like, if you look at the time span of when I release videos, I hardly ever release videos.
Yes, you're doing this for clout. 100%. 1,000,000,000%. I can say it with 100% certainty you're doing this for clout.
I've already spent hundreds of my own dollars, and when I first started, I had zero intention of involving myself with this. It's so stupid.
But what are you asking us to do? You just confessing your sin?
Well, I'm talking here because of was very upset by EDP helping me trying to get out this information. So as far as I'm concerned, I came over here. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that, again, like, I know it's hard to believe, but I guess people will believe me. See, that's the thing. I think people will believe me once they start putting out video footage, and maybe then, like, video footage of EDP. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. I think people will believe me then.
Is EDP on the invest? I'm not sure. I'm on internet like that.
Yeah,
Isn't he on investigation right now?
Yes, he deserves to be behind bars.
Yeah, he's under
But
investigation.
he's been caught like twice.
He's under investigation by the FBI right now, brother Josh.
But is he in prison?
Yeah, in
No,
Hope.
not yet.
No, he's not.
Okay. So and he's on investigation, correct me if I'm wrong, for something serious, for something similar that you're trying to
Yes,
expose, right?
because this person, what I will say is that there's
Bro,
a
the
lot
chat
of
is
evidence
just like
that shows that this
they're really
person
like
has
hating for
interest
shit.
in minors. It's crazy. And also this person
Yes, they
has
hate you for a
talked
good
to
reason,
minors,
bro.
and this is someone that they can socialize
For a
with.
very good reason, Prism.
Wait a minute.
Chat hates you.
Giving special favors.
Wait a minute. Just let you know, man, you're not committing a sin. You know, exposing this information out and everything. Make sure you do your due diligence. If you don't
Man,
want to be a
the
talebearer, so
fucking
you make
comments
sure
on
you do
here.
your diligence when you do release it.
When I say getting thin, I mean like obviously I'm politely asking isn't really enough because I've asked so many people. They don't care when it's behind the scenes and when it's not out there out in the open and when I don't know when people aren't making a spectacle of it, people honestly don't care. And that's what I gathered is I've literally had people that I would believe that. Yeah, and I will consider taking up Skeeter Gene on that. So concerned about the subject, just not Matrix stuff. What is that? And so that's Steve Flavor.
Well,
Stop.
we definitely care about the we definitely care about this man, but on our end, there's nothing we can do about it. You know what I mean? We can't. Now, if we were a drama channel or we were a channel,
Okay. No, I understand.
we're just a Bible channel, man. We just talk about the Bible.
I just want people to know that if I happen to do anything in the future that makes me look really bad, that obviously is some terrible shit. You know why?
Jesus
We're not gonna
Christ.
Let me tell you something. If your crusade is a holy one,
Well, I don't want to call it crusade. That's
I mean, it is. You're on a crusade. Look up that word. It is exactly what. It's not a bad word, by the way. It's not a bad word. If you're on a mission to expose somebody who's wicked and trying to get this person off the streets, right?
Just make sure
And
you
you don't have to
know
worry
the
about us looking at you.
Are you
any
doing
kind of
anything
way.
illegal? Are you doing anything illegal?
You say he's not. You say he's not.
So,
I literally said
We're not
I'm
going to
not
judge you.
that.
We're going to commend you. You're trying to make the world a better place. We're not going to judge you for that. We're going to
Yeah, but
applaud you. You get a predator off the street. We're going to
I
applaud
mean,
you.
that's the thing though. Is like I said, I'm too small to cover it myself. So the moment that like I have to bring attention to this or get someone else to cover this. So like I was saying, if I do some things, obviously they're saying big old nonsense or make me seem. Why do I see that so much? You see people saying big old nothing burger, the same thing, when that's actually not true.
Because you're alluding to it over and over and over again. You're not actually saying
You know,
anything.
I know this because I've shown this to quite a bit of people in my personal life. They know, like, I'm not lying about this. They know it's not a nothing burger. That there is actually something there.
Because Jesus was the bad guy too at one time.
Because we all know what Christian is alleged that he's done and that he might have done. He probably did. Honestly, I can't say for 100%. Obviously, that is true. I got to comment on this too. I mean, he of course he was saying some heinous stuff in a phone call, but the thing is, this is like he went to court over only testimony. And the testimony was coming from a guy who thinks he's been to Quickville or been to Equestria. Let me just say it like this. If someone thinks that they've been to Equestria and they think that whatever happens in their head happens in real life, just because they say something happened, you don't actually know if it happened or not. You can say that, you think it happened and you can like speculate, but in court there's like a beyond a reasonable doubt sort of thing. And since there wasn't like hard evidence, it was just like testimony. I'm assuming that's why Christian's case got dismissed. I don't know. That's just my guess. But I don't know if he actually did it or not. He could have. He's in the position to. I don't know if he did it or not. I go see this person.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the ETA on when we should expect this? Like, when should we expect this
I
to
have no
drop?
clue. This has been going on for almost a year.
Well, here, my man. Well, we gotta get to the next person because it obviously is a Bible channel, man. Bro, man, don't think what you're doing is bad. As long you're doing it for the right reasons to protect children. That's a commendable thing, man. So wherever it is.
Thank God. Thank you, Jadion.
All right. Well, all I gotta say is, you can't say that,
You don't
he saw. They saw the tweet there. I think I want to say this time. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. Okay, well, I couldn't get a hold of Christian, so what else am I supposed to do? Like, if he's selling his medallions, just wear the thing, because I'm already using, like the comment in the first video said, I'm using other people's infamy to try to draw attention to this, all right? So, yeah, it's whatever, man. Because, she can go see this clip herself, and now she doesn't have to be as upset, and hopefully she can understand better. That's all I gotta say. She was asking me to DM her. That's the crazy thing, is all the people in the chat are saying I'm trolling. Well, I'm actually not, though. So that's the wild thing right there, is that it's gonna be wild when this evidence comes out, inevitably. People will see I'm actually not trolling. It's the wild part, man. Do any of that? No.
Praise God.
Peace, my man.
Yeah, praise God. Actually, wait, can I talk about my favorite Bible verse before we go?
Of course, man. What's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh, and yeah, I got removed right before I can say my favorite Bible verse. Guys, if you want to know my favorite Bible verse, it's Matthew. I can't remember the numbers, but it's from Matthew. It's having faith, even as small as a mustard seed. And nothing is impossible for you if you have faith, even as small as a mustard seed. And I think it was what was it? You could move mountains. You look it up for yourself. Look up Matthew. Faith is a mustard seed. That's my favorite Bible quote. There's a little bit of lore, a little bit of history behind that. And I was in EHP or MRP, and I was in this prayer circle. And of course, the guide, who was his name was Archibald. That was the quote, which we talked about in the prayer circle. And I will say, it means a lot to me. That's why it's my favorite quote. It means something to me, like personally. So, sorry, I didn't get to say it on stream. Yeah, I mean that's about it. All right, I'm gonna end this.
Okay. This is just nightmarish.
Hello, everybody. Hey, it's me, Prism.
What does he call himself?
I haven't really uploaded. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's me, Prism. I haven't really uploaded. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's me, Prism. I haven't really
Privism?
uploaded over a week, and I'm actually glad. Hello, everybody.
I wonder if he didn't edit out what he used to call himself in his videos.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Prism here.
What does he say?
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Prism here.
Privism? Priapism. What the fuck does that mean? Jesus. Yeah, he wasn't kidding. He did name himself something pretty edgy back in the day. I wonder if he told his parents and his youth pastor and his fucking professors and all these fucking people that his name used to be priapism. Now that I know what that word means, I don't think I'm going to be using it in my regular lexicon. Bro, I didn't even need to read. I didn't even need to read through his Twitter. Somebody did it for me. He's got a Kiwi Farms thread that like has everything that I was looking for already on there. Jesus. Never mind. Don't need to make a video. Somebody's already done the work. Somebody's already done all the work. What I will be doing is I will be saving this farm, this thread. I will be saving that thread for later. Dude's a fucking loser. Much more than I thought prior. I think that's gonna do it for my fucking YouTube stream. Or that's gonna do it for my stream. I'll consider doing a video later on, but quite frankly, from what I just read and what I just saw and what I've just compiled, I think this person would actually benefit greatly from a 50 fucking bot subscribed, no viewer channel talk. I think this guy wants people to talk about. I think that he lies and tries to make it seem as though like he's doing everything he can to not get views, when in reality he's just doing all this shit because he's a coward. Boy. We'll see what happens. I might make a video, but after reading what I just read, I don't know, man. Kind of took the wind out of my sail. This guy just seems like a fucking desperate loser. After that Jadeon stream too, good lord, he got so upset over random people just very mildly. This is a server full of Bible thumping Christians lightly poking at him. He almost had a spurg attack. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But from what I've seen, I think we're very lucky that other people have made videos on Chris Tyson. I think we're very lucky that other people are covering this because this guy is a detriment to all attacks on Chris Tyson. I hope to God that he doesn't get the fame he's looking for. Hope to God he doesn't get the recognition he's looking for. I feel like I've made a very grave mistake in looking into him today. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. For now, hope everyone has a wonderful day. God bless. Prism42. Go to hell.